Okay, welcome to the show today. I am David Sponheim. I'll be your host. Thank you for coming in. Welcome to the Amazing Truth Tuesday event. We at America's Third Party stand for liberty, equality, and sustainability. Now, what does that mean? It means that we all want our freedoms, our freedom to speak out, to pursue religion of any kind, our freedom to bear arms. The right to bear arms we think is essential. So being I'm a social liberal, I also embrace the right when it comes to bearing arms. I embrace the right when it's dealing with capital punishment on a national level. I support the idea of capital punishment as long as there's DNA evidence in any kind of a incriminating situation where people are on death row. I believe that we need to actually take care of business and show these criminals that we cannot allow anyone to commit such a heinous act as murder and not end up dying due to the death penalty. So obviously I'm a social liberal because I care about homeless people, I care about the environment, I care about the course our nation is taking with regards to people having opportunity, not being discriminated against based on their sexual preference, and also the idea that our country preserves the small business, which to me is not a socially liberal concept. It's a common sense issue. The small business, to me, should have the right to refuse hiring a transgender. Now, in this sense, I'm not socially liberal. I believe the government should allow, I'm clipping, okay, thank you. I believe the government should actually allow anybody, transgender or not, to get a government job, but I don't believe we can possibly enforce it in the private sector. Small businesses should choose whether they want a transgender as an employee. So this is a dividing line, really. Centrists are right in the middle of the political spectrum. We're not pushing for a social agenda like Hillary is. We're not trying to create a communist nation. But at the same time, we're also recognizing the importance the small business has in developing new jobs and letting them have a free rein. That's something that's really important. So not being a person that drives a wedge between the two sides is what I want to be. I want to avoid creating conflict like Obama and any egomaniac would do. I want to kind of reach out and communicate on every issue too. I don't want to divide the country on party lines. I think that's a big mistake. We need to start working forward toward a common goal. And clearly our president has been remiss in reaching out to the right and forging ties. You know, this constant effort to push for gun control has been pretty much a distraction for our country. I don't need to do that. We have to build jobs. Let's talk about what's on your mind tonight. All right. You're against the transgender thing? I had a problem with the idea of a work of like a lesbian day spa. Forced to hire a dude that's transgender. I mean, you can imagine in Los Angeles, there's a couple of day spas that are lesbian based, women only, and they really do not want men. So how can a man get a job at a lesbian day spa? You know, if you enforce that. Now, the Democrats would want to enforce that. I don't think we can. I don't think legally we can push small businesses to do that. Business has the right to refusal. They can refuse anybody at any door they want. You may not be wearing shoes or a shirt. They can refuse business. It doesn't matter. Your whiteness is hurting your eyes. Well, I can adjust the camera a little bit. Let me bring in a little yellow. Some yellow tints. Thank you. You know, you may not think you can change your gender, but some people think they can. You know? Wow. I'm not here to, discuss transgenderism, but I thought it would be fun to start the show talking about transgenderism because it seems to be a high priority on the Obama side. How's that? Is that a little less white? Okay. Well, let's just get transgenderism out of the way so we can talk about other more important things tonight. I believe equal rights is important. I believe men and women and transgenders should all get equal pay for the same job. And you don't care about liberty? See, that's where I differ from you. I believe liberty is everything. But we also need to have equality in the workplace. So I support an equal rights amendment. But I can't possibly expect some mom and pop restaurant to be forced to hire some flaming transgender who comes in there and says, honey, I'm going to be your, I want to flap your jacks or jack your flaps. I can't imagine somebody flipping pancakes in some restaurants in middle America with a transgender at the helm. It's just not going to work out. If you walked into a restaurant like a Denny's and you had this raging transgender walk up to you and go, honey, what can I get for you? And I'm not transgender, so I can tell you it's pretty hard for me to do that. But no mom and pop business would ever be required to do that. Yeah, I just wanted to get something realistic for you guys to sink your teeth into. Well, I'm just saying, you just ate. You don't want some divine picture of a flapping of a jack. Exactly. Exactly. There you go. Reptoid's concerned about the hygiene of some transgender working on their flapjacks. Have you ever had flapjacks? Sarah took the night off for now. She'll be back whenever she comes in. She was in the pre-show. Real talk, real people, real transgenders. You and me. Now, we have another little thing we have to talk about called sustainability. And that's where you need a president who has a light touch. You need a man with a slow hand. You need a president with a light touch. Yeah. You need a guy who doesn't want to force you to pay for water catchment on your tiny house you created in Colorado to grow marijuana. I don't want to come in and have the ATF sweep in on your ass and have the Colorado State Police tell you that you can't get water off your roof. I want the government to back off, way off, of our individual freedom. And when we have a system that's sustainable, sustainability is the key. And that means you may have to have an Envirolet toilet. I don't want the Department of Health and Human Services calling you up going, well, we have to do a septic inspection. If we don't do a septic inspection, you're going to be arrears $25 per day for suspension due to notification bill 45345. I mean, this is the kind of crap the Democrats push on you. They tell you they have to watch and check your septic system. They want to stick their head up your ass. That's what we've got going on right now. Take it easy. We've got a democratically led country that's telling us how to trim our pubic hair. How deep up our ass they want to go is the question, and how deep they want to be up your ass is not a question, because we know they're so deep up our ass, we have no way of getting them out until we build a new third party and get these people out of the way. The Democrats have actually laid the groundwork for communism in our country. And many people know that Democrats are idiots. Exactly. And many people know that Donald Trump's scary, and we don't want somebody like him. We want a person who at least understands the basics. Get the government out of our lives, shrink the government, which is something the Democrats can't even imagine, because the truth is, Democrats are spendy like no other. They spent double under Obama than what Bush spent, and I didn't like Bush. They are over-the-top spenders, spending tons and tons of money. You're building a wall around your house. Well, I'm not shouting, man. I'm going to turn the volume down. My mic is running really hot. Our computer is on the end of its... Our computer is on the end of the rope here. We ordered a new computer. It should be arriving by the beginning of the year. We're set to start our show with a brand new, fully functional gaming computer. It should be really nice. I'm not trying to yell. Who did you ever like, David? JFK. Our president, the man who had his head blown off, and you know it wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald. The man who had his head blown off, our country went down the toilet right at that point. And after that, and they covered up his investigation into the death, after that cover-up, the Warren Commission cover-up, we've been run by thugs ever since. Our nation is completely run by thugs right now. Corrupt mobsters. Your eye corners are red? You have high blood pressure? Yeah, that's a good indication you may be suffering from high blood pressure. Yeah, that's called a little bit of, yeah, thank you. Thanks for clarification. What I'm talking about right now is, no, I'm talking about you. You're looking at a guy who's living on 5 hours sleep. I've been writing my book. I've been burning on all fours. Well, they should be bloodshot. I got 5 hours sleep last night. You're living on threes? Yeah. Well, I got 3 hours sleep. I could not make it. 5 hours is about my minimum. But yeah, our country went down the toilet in 1963. So yeah, if you think they can't lie to you, if you're one of those people that still believes we went to the moon, these are the same people that covered up the death of our great president, John F. Kennedy. These are the people that got rid of Marilyn Monroe, Robert F. Kennedy. You think they would ever lie to you? Oh gosh, no, they would never. They would never tell us we went to the moon. I was 3 years old in '63. I was born in 1960. I don't know. The trick is, Vaughn has been saying servers at capacity because they don't want to really pay their bill for people that don't pay into their system. Of course, Marilyn was a target. They never found her diary. No, NASA was covered up by the very same people that gave you Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon put a hit out on the 4 guys that filmed the entire moon landing. The moon landing, we talked about this last night, the moon landing was filmed in a studio that was leased by the same group that Stanley Kubrick worked with to make the film 2001: A Space Odyssey. I didn't buy VIP, it was gifted to me. No, Nixon, believe me, the break-in came as an afterthought. They couldn't control Nixon. They knew he was out of control. Nixon first got his job in politics by answering an ad looking for somebody who would do anything for power. And he filled out a response back in the 1950s. It was a newspaper ad Nixon filled out. What will you do to have power? Anyway, the studio was in London, Home Slice, and Nixon knew about the 4 guys that filmed it, and he was very upset that those guys got away. So he hunted them down and he had them all shot, all killed. That's a story that I heard. And Stanley Kubrick died as a result of knowing too much as well. I don't know if he has much of a head. I mean, this VIP thing is kind of alienating, I think. Love American style. Chewing on the red, white, and blue. Okay. Well, I'm not here to talk about blondes. I'm here to talk at a lower level because my mic is hot. When I get a hot mic, I've got to slow down. I'm sure you are. That's what you do. That's what all of you do. You think your life is any different than anyone else? Or you're all addicted to free porn. I know. That's why you're here. Because you don't have any place else to go in between orgasms. Yes, we have a dance segment. Right now I'm suffering from 5 hours sleep, so being I'm working on my book, it takes me a lot of effort during the day to break away from my book and do the show. So it's full-time writing book every day. I'm not sure if it'll be 400 or 500 pages. I'm writing a book. Yeah, it's kind of like War and Peace. It's about the destruction of our nation, the unfortunate the end result, and it has a positive sense of hope. I discovered a way to live which doesn't require a lot of money, and it's about how we're as a nation going to survive the coming economic collapse, the one you're encountering right now on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of a helpful handbook in some ways, but it's also a story of my life and the life of my family, dating back over 100 years. I actually am a 16th generation American. My mother's family arrived on the boat right after the Mayflower. I am kind of an Amish right now. I'm hybrid Amish. I don't associate with Amish people, but I feel like a hybrid Amish person. I want the tiny house movement to evolve. No, I mean it. I want people to be able to live more in tune with their own environment. I don't want the Department of Health calling you up and saying you have to pump your septic system. And then you ask them, well, where is the septic waste going to go? And is it hurting anybody in my septic tank? And they would say, well, we don't know where it's going. And yes, it is hurting you in your septic tank because it's there and we don't like it there. It's almost like these Democrats want to stick their head up our ass and give it a twist and then charge us for it. Well, believe me, if I could remove this face and take on another one, I would. I'm not in love with the way I look. I really am not. So I'm thinking with some melanin injections, I might be able to, get a different face, and I might be able to even be your next president. But I have to actually be black. So, in order to achieve that, it's going to be difficult. Well, I know you hate me because you don't hate yourself. This is a really uncomfortable position. How did he get his head in this position? I can't even get my head cocked in that position. A tan? Yeah, I need a tan. I need melanin injections to actually win the election. The American people want a black man for president. The reason why they want a black man is because they've been culturally programmed to want an African American for president. I realize this now. That's why so many people believe that Ben Carson has a chance, even though he doesn't really have anything to say. Is he a reptilian, really? Well, your erectile dysfunction is coming from a result of it's a cocktail of drugs you're on. You're probably on an antipsychotic and something like Prozac to keep you happy, which is just advanced fluoridation. Cut back on fluoride and get distilled water into your system, and you should be able to have an erection. Turn off your PC and go outside and stop touching yourself for 6 or 7 hours. You want Bozo Pelosi? Really? Why? Well, anyway, I created an African American to run for president named Broke Insane Obamas. Now, I have not filed a claim that Broke Insane Obamas could actually run, but if you had a choice between Broke Insane Obamas, and I want this to, this is all about choices. This is about you versus yourself and the choices you make. I'm giving people choices right now. I think that's kind of a good starting place for people. But yeah, I have pictures. Yes, I do. Fun pictures. Pictures of people with faces, like Tammy Faye Baker. There's a lovely person. She's no longer with us now, but her spirit lives on. I know, you want Bozo Pelosi. I got that. We're working on Bozo Pelosi. Bozo Pelosi. We have a one of Pelosi's many images. The one where her face was reconfigured. It was one of her facelifts that they did. Yeah, I bet you would. You'd probably do that to anybody. You're so horny you can barely stand touching yourself. But I mean, I don't want to, waste your time with boring thoughts when you could be thinking of other things, like why this woman isn't in your life and how much fun you'd have with her eating potato chips. The Joan Rivers controversy, it's very controversial. I can tell you that Joan Rivers probably died because she talked about Michelle being a dude, Michelle Obama being a guy, a transgender. So there's another little twist in the story about Melissa Rivers. There was no autopsy performed on Joan Rivers. Well, let's be clear. It's controversial, yeah. There was no autopsy performed on Joan Rivers. I'm getting Nancy Pelosi. Hold on. I'm not a comedian. No. I'm trying to explain that to me. I have never engaged in comedy. That's like asking this chicken if it ever had sex. Of course not. It's just a chicken with a really cute face. Anyway, you were born for comedy? Yeah. John Belushi's here, everybody, from the dead. John Belushi. From speedballs to chat rooms. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. John Belushi, thank you so much for coming in. Give us your thoughts on what's happening today in our weird world where Saturday Night Live can't come up with a funny episode if they tried. Look who Kim Jong-un killed now in his circle. Oh, really? Logo Graphics usually got some good clicks there. Okay, top aide to North Korea leader Kim Jong-un dies in car crash. Oh, very bad for North Korean leader. Top aide die in car crash. Okay, this just in from Yahoo. A senior North Korean ruling party official and a top aide to leader Kim Jong-un has died in a car accident, the state news agency reported on Wednesday, in the latest event to hit the close circle of deputies in the country's leader. So this country's leader is getting rid of people who maybe know that he has erectile dysfunction? I'm just guessing. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, Kim. Kim Jong-un. I am an articulate white man. That's correct. I know. David, are you on top or the bottom? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm on top. I'm on top of the world. Tonight's Truth Tuesday, so I don't want to belabor the issue. I want to get you Nancy Pelosi's bozo version as soon as I can find it. Bozo Pelosi will be on tap in just a second. Here it is, everybody.
You mute that person.
Bozo Pelosi.
Question for you.
Okay, we got a call.
No, I have a question for you.
What is it? Oh, we'll go off mic.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Bozo Pelosi, everybody. Isn't that great? Yeah. Did it make your day, Beekman? Yeah. What are you eating? Jello? What is that? What do you mean? You make Jello out of booze or something? And you're eating the Jello slowly to get high on the alcohol? I'm reading quite a bit, 8-7. Yeah, I read everything you said. You said I was in the clear. Comedy takes a hard work and talent. Yeah. But you think about you having sex with me, I don't think that's going to happen. And as far as 595 wanting to have sex with me, that's not going to happen either. I muted the mic because Sarah was talking about something personal. Yeah, creepy. Hey, Dimples. How are you? So are you tired of the creepy clown, or did you get enough, Beekman? Did you get enough? Okay, just tell me that you had enough. Okay, thank you. Because it makes me want to projectile vomit when I see Nancy Pelosi's bozo picture. Wow, B Dino says, hey David, I got that 24 karat gold stuff for my face and I had a line on my forehead and it went away too. Awesome stuff. I'm about ready to do a little Aura Gold treatment myself right up in here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I never thought I could look like a 7-year-old child by rubbing gold all over my face, but hey, you know, anything's possible. Fear of clowns is Obamophobia. I think it's a classic case of Obamophobia. Fear of Obama getting a third term. Obamophobia is a common occurrence, especially with the White House making decisions like creating a war overseas to justify a third term, creating an economic disaster in our country to justify maybe a monetary takedown. My necktie is from Australia. My sister got this in the Outback. It was made by Aborigines. Then, oh, there's a tag here. Even better. Australian made. And it's made by a company called Scorched Earth. Isn't that great? It's made by Aborigines. It's an Aboriginal pattern. If you look at it long enough, you'll lose your mind. Okay. Let us continue this show. Many of you have been looking at the news. You got to stop doing that. That's a big mistake. Don't ever look at the news, because the news is really just propaganda. Try to get your news from your neighbors, you know. You'll know if things are bad when your neighbor tells you, hey, did you hear about that bombing or that terrible thing? Otherwise, just don't freak out. A third term by Obama would be martial law would have to be created in 3 states. They'd have to create martial law in 3 states to justify a national martial law effort. That would justify a third term and a suspension of an election. No need for the rectal exam. I actually took the pill with a video camera in it. And I'm watching my intestines in real time right now on my monitor. Yeah. Dude, you have no idea. I'm not only better than Obama, I am a person filled with ideas. Obama doesn't have any ideas. Really? Red Adair? Okay, the Islamic State suffers a double blow as Ramadi falls, leaders killed. Baghdad. U.S.-led forces have killed 10 Islamic State leaders in the airstrikes. It's been going on for what, 12 years now? 13 years? 14 years? Yeah, I mean, when is it going to end? The video camera pill is awesome. Oh, I'm digesting a chunk of something there. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get most of my news from people screaming, help, help. You know, I have not tried Chicharito Hernandez. I have been thinking most likely Juan Valdez, my friend from Colombia, and I could go to El Ranchero or possibly the famous E. coli dispensary that we love to call the, chorizo. Audio's messed up. Yeah, it was messed up all day long. I can't explain it. Yeah. I don't understand it. I've got a hot mic. And, you know, I've been working with, I think what's going on is I plugged a few things into my computer last night and it screwed everything up. Yeah. Well, if I change mics, I'd have to stop the show. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, it's a very hot mic. Yeah, it's breaking up. Okay, the Texas affluenza teen captured in Mexico. I don't know much about this guy. He's a rich Texas teenager who fled with his mother to Mexico to avoid possible jail time for violating his probation in a drunken driving crash that left 4 people dead. I mean, the guy needs to face the music. I mean, he killed 4 people, you know. I don't think Obama did. No, he's going to be serving time. Barack Obama will be serving time for forgery and most likely fraud. He's not even a U.S. citizen, dude. He never was. I explained what would cause martial law. That's the only cause that they would ever have to keep Barack Obama a 3rd term. I haven't heard about the rape cases in Sweden. You mean the ones that were performed by Julian Assange? He was vindicated of that. Those women wanted it. They said so. David, women and men brutally caned in public in Indonesia for crimes of affectionate contact. Wow, this is why we're not living in the 9th century, but most of the Middle East is. Indonesia, folks, a hotbed for Muslim activity. The kind of area that Donald Trump visits when he goes on business trips. A woman was accused of being too friendly with a man she's not married to, as well as the man himself, were caned at a mosque in Indonesia. Wow, my gosh. So unnatural affection. So you can't fall in love with anybody in these jihadist cultures. I know. We need a strong president. I know. Yeah, that's why we don't need some panty waste like Donald Trump or some woman who doesn't have any testicles. Because technically women don't have testicles. Really? Assange never faced charges on the Swedish rape charge? Really? I did not know that. The Swedish girls, I take it back, they were raped. That is not a good thing. I have some Scandinavian background, so I know a little bit about that raping and pillaging subject there. David, do you believe in La Guadalupe del Topiac? No, I am not studying anything regarding Sante Muerte today, but thank you for asking. No, Holly, testicles are not a requirement for being president, but, and that's a big but, it's important to have a big but. Women in Saudi Arabia are so badly mistreated, let Afghanistan just exist. You know that Winston Churchill came and left Afghanistan in 1905, prior to World War I. And he said that it is unwinnable territory. Winston Churchill, you know, the bulldog that won World War II for the English. He said you could not win a war in Afghanistan. Do not make any rape jokes here, please. Thank you. That's very indelicate. Walton, you have a funny pick. Thank you. And excuse the sound problem. My computer's melting down. It's starting to break down. We're on our last leg. We've got a brand new laptop coming to us. Should be arriving by the new year. So we're hoping to make it to the final end of 2015. Really? Obama been lying. One of the most wanted terrorists in the world. This is what we're talking about. Yeah, see the fraud charges. Yeah.
Fraud charges, huh?
Fraud charges. I believe Obama will face fraud charges someday. Someday he will actually have to answer to the American people without a teleprompter. He'll be outside of his Hawaiian retreat with his lovely wife, Michelle. And he'll get a knock on the door, and it'll be the Justice Department will be saying, Mr. Obama, you have to answer to this question about why your birth certificate was forged. Because it clearly was forged. We just want to know why. Well, make no mistake about it. Could someone please, do I have my portable teleprompter so I can come up with an answer? Sure. Just why? Why did you have to forge it? Why didn't you just say you were from Mombasa, Kenya? It would have been so much simpler for the American people to understand. And then we would just accept the fact that we made a mistake.
So did you read this about U.S.-led forces have killed 10 Islamic State leaders in airstrikes, including individuals linked to the Paris attacks?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that can be verified by any third-party sources. It's good to know. It's good to know.
According to Reuters, Wall Street Journal, and New York Times.
Thank you. I'm sounding a lot like Pat Patton, and his show has class. That's good. Thank you. I'm going to step it up a notch.
The Texas affluenza teen was captured in Mexico. Is going to be returned to the U.S.
He killed four people in a car accident. He left 4 people dead in a car accident. This Texas affluenza teen. No, I'm not good. I'm great. Oh yeah, you haven't even gotten near the quality I possess, sir. Here we go. California law allowing seizure of guns without notice begins January 1st. Boy, there's a lot of people that are going to be pissed off. They're going to get their guns taken away.
What?
Yeah, here we go. They're going to start seizing guns.
Without notice?
Without notice, door to door. Get ready for Big Brother. He's here. And his name's Donald Trump. Benjamin Wagner, the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of California, displays one of the guns seized in an undercover operation during a news conference in Sacramento, California. Gun control legislation going into effect in California next week will allow authorities to seize a person's weapons for 21 days.
I'm a firearms instructor.
If a judge determines that there's potential for violence. And that could be you're suffering from
notice.
PTSD. I mean, yeah, but I mean, gun violence restraining order, yeah. Well, maybe people suffering from PTSD are going to be falsely, seizing their weapons. No, we don't. We're not like anything else on the internet at all.
It was posted earlier by Scissor Fight, Boo Boo Kitty, so you can just scroll up. And I agree with you. Well, and it's not without notice. I mean, I would think that they would get notice of that.
I think Ted Cruz would be an excellent press secretary. Don't you think?
Yeah, maybe.
He has that kind of like face you just love to hate. How does your teeth stay in so good? Well, I found a way of not actually touching them with my tongue. Only to actually enunciate words. So it works very well. If you touch it with your tongue, they fall out. Yes. Anyway, I guess what I'm really saying is I had 5 hours sleep last night.
Man, you have not been sleeping well this whole week.
My REM sleep was put off by the false alarm regarding what happened this week.
Oh, right, yesterday, and then today.
Yeah.
You had to wake up early.
It's just and just not getting the kind of 7 hours I need. So it's a 5 hour.
Next week you'll go back to a normal cycle. Maybe.
I hope so. Yeah.
Maybe.
But I should be able to function on 5 hours sleep. That because I'm training myself for that in the event you do want me as your president. If not, I'll probably end up sleeping 12 hours a day.
I didn't know.
Just out of
Missouri
depression.
Had a governor named Nixon, Jay Nixon.
Oh yeah.
He activated the National Guard today because flooding has led to the death of 13 people in the state so far.
I've been up writing my book in the wee hours. I don't talk about it to Sarah. She doesn't. I don't want her to be bothered with it. But yeah, I've been spending hours writing my book. Pataki suspends the presidential bid, folks. Former New York Governor George Pataki suspended his bid for the Republican presidential nomination. Bless you. I didn't even know he was running. Wow. Mm-hmm. Governor Pataki no longer going to run for president. Wow, people are dropping off like flies. David, dude, you are going to be eating your words someday. I don't believe having a job is something I was meant to do right now. I did that, been there, done that. Saved up enough money to not have to worry about, anything. Holly, I'm going to get more write-in votes than you can imagine. This is going to be one heck of a year. I retired at the age of 50. I just said, hey, I have enough. If you'd like, there's some Kleenex in there. Yeah, go for it. Nope, I didn't live with my parents my entire life. I cared for my parents toward the end of their life. I actually left a lucrative lifestyle and moved my entire family up to the Seattle area just to help them retire and to have a better life. And it took a huge cost and income loss. It was really sad. Oh, that's so funny. No, I'm afraid you don't have the X factor. You don't know what it means. No, I did not have a crappy radio job in a failed business. No. I actually enjoyed my work as a news director. I thought that was kind of nice. I mean, my entire family. I mean, lock, stock, and barrel. I carried, every single thing I could out of L.A. 20 years ago, I saw the influx of people coming into L.A., and I said, I got to get out of here. So I moved up to Seattle 20 years ago. Oh, I was a radio newscaster and news director. I worked prior to that. I worked in television advertising and in voiceover. Voiceover was very nice. I did a lot of good stuff there. Did a lot of promo work too for free for the Veterans Administration, other organizations. So I mean, I gave a little bit, but I made enough to just kick back the rest of my life. Thank you. Nope, there won't be any video of me on the news. No, I've been completely censored by the news. But that's not going to stop me because I'm not giving up under any circumstances. Unlike George Pataki, I would never give up.
Hi, I can be.
We have a humanoid robot developed by NTU, whoever that is. Let's take a look. 25 seconds of this humanoid robot.
I feel your smile today.
How are you?
Feeling really joyful today.
What is your nationality?
I do not have any nationality. I am a global person.
What is your hobby?
I like to volunteer my time to help others.
Wow, that's pretty realistic. What do you think? Realistic?
Pretty realistic.
Very realistic. Thank you for that link. Doggy style. No, it says she doesn't pay me $800 a month. That's ridiculous. Why do you say this crap? That's absurd. God, you're disgusting. Here's her at her computer. Oh, you have more of her. You have like a full lineup of this robot woman. Are you in love with her?
What is my nationality?
I remember Panpin said that his nationality is Chinese.
You are a beautiful social robot.
Thank you, unknown. I think you look attractive too.
Now, why is the robot telling her that she looks attractive? I didn't consider her that attractive. I did not find her very attractive. What is the criteria for attractive, Sarah?
I would say that the criteria for attractiveness is beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and obviously the woman asking a question made the robot to look like her, so she thought she herself was beautiful.
Is it possible that the robot is manipulating the interviewer by saying she's attractive?
Maybe she's programmed to say that you look beautiful too, or quite attractive too, when you say you're attractive.
What is this obsession people have with working in this society? Why is it everyone wants to just get a job and make money? What's the deal? Is it that they don't want to live off the state? What's the deal there? I don't understand. I'm trying to figure this out. Are they all programmed to be work bots?
I agree with you, Oregon Ducks.
Why is it you are all trying to work so hard, even though the economy is destroying the value of your dollar? Wow.
Thank you, Hydroglow. That would be impressive.
Hey Dave, Shrek told me Sarah pays rent. Yes, that is correct. Sarah does pay me a small amount of money for her time here, so that I can help pay utilities.
Just really don't worry about it.
No, there is no reason for anyone to be concerned. After all, we have many people here who would like to talk about politics. I do not believe that I am consuming any utilities here. I do not understand why you have to consume.
I wouldn't.
Sarah doesn't have a problem doing what she feels is necessary.
No, Amber's not coming on the camera.
Boy, there are a lot of bad guests
We live
here.
in the on Whidbey Island, Oregon Ducks.
Yes.
Whidbey Island, so northwest Washington.
I would never charge Sarah rent. I've even said to Sarah, Sarah, do not pay any money out for rent. But she
And I
chooses
don't pay
to
money
pay it.
out. The thing is I do is to help the household. When two
It's
people
household.
are together,
That is correct.
they usually, you know what some married men and women do? They get joint checking accounts. I'm never going to do that.
Yes, Master.
But instead of just getting a joint checking account, I say, here's some money, and that's how much I'm going to donate to what would be considered a joint checking account.
You see, I don't consume a lot in life. I'm a very minimalist. I hardly even drink any water.
Well,
I
I take
consume
David's
very
money,
little.
and David takes my money.
That is correct. There
If
is a
David
balance.
gives me money, he says, here, Sarah, I want you to have this money. I say, okay, thanks. And I put it in my pocket. And I say, hey, David, I want you to have this money. He says, okay, thanks. And he puts it in his
I'm
pocket.
Amy Jane, and I'm a firearms instructor and competitive shooter. First engagement with guns would be on Paris Island in Marine Corps boot camp, and I was petrified. I'd never shot a gun, and I was so scared.
telling
And
them.
when I shot
No,
it, it
yes.
went
Here,
dead
I'll
center.
just
It wasn't
start
even like
getting
zeroed or
everything.
anything. I forget who was next to me. He was just like, you're really good at this. And I was like, oh my
What are
god,
you
I'm so
doing?
scared. And,
I'm putting this over
after
here.
training, I got series
Why?
shooter, qual
So I
expert,
can
and
X out of this.
kind of fell in love with the whole
Okay.
thing. The smell of it, the recoil in your ear. I was like, this is
You don't know
the
you
guns I
really-
shot today was the TR1 from Terran Tactical Innovations, my Glock 34, and my Benelli
That way we have
M2.
this.
I do a lot
It's
of
something you're
pistol.
playing. Go back here. What the heck is that back there? Okay. I don't know. I guess
That
I
was
got rid of
weird.
it.
That was weird, yeah. Would David take your money? Now let me tell you what I bought Sarah.
Isn't that amazing? But Dano?
One of the things I bought Sarah recently was this beautiful car. I thought for her birthday last year I would get her something special, and I did. And I got her this used car. Admittedly, it is a used car, but it had
But
very
it's so cool.
had very low gas mileage, high gas mileage, but it had very low miles on it. Had 130,000 on it. So I bought her this car. So it's not like I'm, taking money from Sarah and not giving back. That's absurd. I wanted to get her something nice. I didn't want her to get the total cost of the car was $6,000. I wanted to get her something nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Cleopatra used to have a gold face mask that she'd sleep with.
It's called a Honda Insight, and it's really cool, and I love it. I have one myself. That's why I want to buy her one. And hers has a CVT transmission. So yeah, whatever donations that we get here at America's Third Party goes into a separate account too. I don't touch any money from there.
The year was older, but the person that had it took immaculate care of it.
Yeah, it had 130,000 miles on it. No, Oregon Ducks, I don't believe anyone needs to be trained in handgun operation. The cost of the infrastructure is too great for our country.
I would say Oregon Ducks, I do like what we do here in Washington State, which is if you like a concealed permit, I believe you have to go through a course in order to have a concealed permit. And I think that's a good thing. But people can have
I agree with
open
that. I do agree
carry.
with that, yeah. I support open carry too.
But you know what? And the concealed permit, though, I didn't realize it goes on your record, like for the police when they pull it up information. But I've also heard that police that see someone has a concealed permit, they're actually less worried if someone has a concealed permit than, going into the unknown, because then they chances are the person has a gun on them, but they're doing it the right way and they've been trained. You see a brand new one with leather seats right now for just $13,900.
Yeah.
Don't do just $13,900. Only spend $10,000 or less on a car. I always suggest you buy a used car instead of a brand new car.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yes, if you have to buy a new car, this is the time to do it at the end of 2015 rather than a brand new 2016. But really, I think that.
Okay, well, what you want to do, if you buy new, the truth of the matter is you're going to get ripped off. More than 50% of the value of the car is jacked up to get that new car. Seriously. When you leave that lot with a new car, your drop in value is about 50%. Seriously. If you try to sell it again, I know a guy who spent $75,000 on an Audi S5. He bought it in Germany, had it shipped here. And then he literally $75,000, and he sold it 2 years later for $32,000.
A good split pea soup.
Start with a ham hock if you're going to make a good split pea soup. This is cops busting someone a few houses down from you.
This is what Scissor Fight woke up to this morning.
This
He
was his
woke up
morning.
And grabbed his phone or camera.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Tuesday, December 29th, 2015. Wow.
Oh, I so remember that sound. We had that sound actually in our neighborhood about a week ago, and I called, and they were looking for it. And elderly person went missing. Oh my goodness, look.
SWAT team,
SWAT team. They probably are just broadcasting on the internet.
Yeah, it was probably somebody broadcasting on the internet. I wouldn't doubt it. Wow.
Someone's just broadcasting, just minding their own business. Wow.
Are we just going to look at this forever?
Well,
Okay.
no, we don't have to.
That's not a tank? Whatever. Okay. Yes. Well, Hondas and Toyotas last for years. That's the reason why, is they're better made than American motor cars. And I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. You know, I used to look at the car reviews from Motor Trend and Car and Driver back in the 1990s and 2000 era. And I was shocked that American cars were getting banned. And I used to say, or getting panned, I should say. No way. I mean, how could American cars be that bad? And then I saw the performance. They start breaking down at 100,000 miles. So time and time again, I saw Chrysler Sebrings going into shops with 100,000 on them. American cars just don't last nearly as long as Japanese cars, period.
He crawled out on his hands and knees and they arrested him. Wow.
This is a North Korean situation. The top official that was close to Kim Jong-un has died in a car crash. One of his key aides, Kim Jong-un's key aides, has died in a car crash, state news agency has said. He was 73. He was secretary of the ruling Workers' Party when he was in charge of ties with South Korea. So I think maybe Kim Jong-un had a disagreement maybe with this guy, and I'm not sure who it is. Kim Jong-un took part in talks. Oh, it was Kim Jong-un.
Gong.
The guy on the left.
Yeah, 73.
Not the guy in the military outfit, but the guy on the left. He looks very westernized, you know, like
Yeah.
he may have been exposed to the Western world a little bit because he was the liaison to South Korea.
He helped ease a standoff with the South in August after there was an exchange of artillery fire.
Wow. So they're throwing him under the bus. Or maybe just under the car in the car accident. That's too bad.
Under the guns.
Well, we've got a lot of problems to deal with, and I don't think North Korea is one of them. I think we got a bigger problem with Iran. I don't hate Japanese people. In fact,
No.
I feel very, very strong toward what's going on in Fukushima with the Japanese people. I'm very concerned about them. No, BD, we're not getting any information. I'm still waiting on the incident report from that event. It's 4 months out now. I'm going to have to contact the detective and ask why the incident report wasn't turned in. Twitter bosses are keeping quiet about government snooping or face jail time. See, I knew Twitter was kind of being monitored by the government. Wow. I'll let you take a look at that. I'm going to take a break. I'll replace that with me.
Oh, and the UK. UK is kind of... I heard this other news story in the UK I didn't agree with either. I will just say this. I think the UK is not where I would want to live if I wanted to have freedom of speech. Because it's like they tend to monitor everything in the UK. And in fact, they just also passed this new law that I heard about on our national public radio here in the U.S., which was, it was about anti-harassment laws. So, if you download spyware on your spouse's device and do a bunch of different things that aren't actually physical, then yeah, anyway, you can be prosecuted in the UK. So Twitter and other tech forums will face criminal charges if they warn users they are being monitored by UK security services or police under the new Investigatory Powers Bill. Wow. Did you guys hear about there's a, I forget what it was, not a 404, but I think it's a 433. Anyway, it's like you go to a website and you can't see the website, not because file not found, but because the government has taken the file off line. So no, I have not been to the UK. And you know, I used to think I would want to go. I actually have a friend from the UK, but I would only want to go if it was like a small town and not like major city or something. Okay. Yes, I have heard. Well, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, we're having El Nino in the Pacific, so they're bringing warmer than usual temperatures, and they claim that a global warming is leading to even warmer temperatures than that. So I saw that, like, my uncle posted this picture in Tennessee of lilies starting to bulb. Well, not bulb, but starting to show their green, like starting to grow their stems, and that usually doesn't happen until March down in Tennessee. So I guess it's warmer than others. Thank you, Sumerian Water Grab. You say well spotted. Once Great Britain. Great Britain is now a totally totalitarian leftist caliphate. Avoid Northern Europe if you love or even like freedom, or the Middle East. Avoid Europe. Avoid the Middle East. It seems like the only place you can go is, well, never mind. I don't think I can say that here in the U.S. because I don't think I have that freedom. You saw in the news where the Arctic is going to be warmer than Texas or the Sahara? Really? Wow. This weekend. Oh, that... I actually would say that I could see how that might happen, Master Meatball. Wow. A warm Arctic storm to hurl hurricane force winds at UK and Iceland. Push temperatures to 72 degrees above Fahrenheit above normal at North Pole. Whoa. Yeah. Yes, both David and I have been outside the U.S. Not very far, but both David and I have been to Mexico. And both David has been to Canada. I have not been to Canada yet. But, yeah. So we haven't traveled far outside of the United States. However, we've traveled almost everywhere in the continental United States. I won't say everywhere, but we've driven many, many, many places in the continental United States. We've driven across country. Since we've been together, we've driven across country about, I want to say half a dozen times, so about 6 times or something like that. We've driven I-10, I-80, I-70, I-90, I-95, I-5. So we've definitely, and when you think about the size of the United States and you think it's about the size of Europe, that's, you know, that's quite significant because the size of all of Europe can fit in the United States. So it would be similar to traveling all over Europe, but instead of traveling all over Europe, we traveled all over the United States.
Right. We were very, very, very pleased to have made it across the country without having any damage to our car. We drove 30,000 miles.
I can't tell you all the states I've been to, but I can tell you the ones I haven't yet been to. I haven't yet been to Florida. I haven't been to Michigan. I don't think we've been to North Carolina or South Carolina.
I've been to North Carolina, but we've never been together.
Yeah.
So
I haven't been to North Carolina or South Carolina. I've been to a very small tip of Georgia, like very small. I haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii. I haven't been to Vermont.
1978.
And I think that's about it.
I'll never forget that.
If you ask me the other states, I probably have been there. Yes.
Yeah. I
Of
would
Georgia, Master Meatball, of Georgia.
I would love for a legalization of marijuana to happen because it really will help our country. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Well, we were driving interstate, I think it's Interstate 40, and that interstate only we're cutting across from Mississippi into Alabama, and then we're heading toward maybe it was and then it maybe 75. Yeah, because then we were cutting off like to go up to, we ended up in Virginia. So
Thank you. Yeah.
that's a little part of Georgia I've been to.
Okay, so we got some new information about fluoride. The truth about fluoride is they don't have any studies showing that in our water system it prevents cavities. But now they're finding out some even worse information, that fluoride could give you bone cancer, according to experts, as they call for a halt to adding it to chemicals that go into our drinking water. Health experts have called for a halt to this. Researchers are now saying it may cause serious, dangerous side effects, such as bone and bladder cancers, and also lowering children's IQs. Okay, so folks, this is real information.
Professor Stephen Peckham of the University of Kent has called for a halt to fluoridation.
Yeah. Well, it's good people are speaking out. We've been against fluoridation for the past 8 years, and of course, I just got rid of the camera.
He said that the process of fluoride was introduced before there was enough research to demonstrate its safety and effectiveness.
Yeah. And that's true. In fact, the FDA has never really studied fluoridation because simply it was grandfathered in. It was around in the 1920s as rat poison. And in their infinite stupidity, they decided to just go ahead and make it a accepted use item in our water system without even questioning its safety. It's almost beyond belief that our country's that out of it, but it is. You know, I was talking about a lot of people are having a hard time with the question of why would our government lie to us? And there's so many reasons why our government would lie to us that's not even funny. I mean, ever since JFK had his head blown clean off, we've been lied to by the same people that refused to even admit that more than one person was involved in his death. So, I mean, we have been lied to over and over and over again by so many different elements in our society. Let's check color here.
I think that's pretty good, a little orange.
A little orange. Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wait, I want to read that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Let me put it over here.
Okay, so Professor Peckham has led research into whether hyperthyroidism is linked to fluoridation.
Oh, really? Wow.
But he said there are problems with evidence on both sides of the argument.
You have a pineal-enhanced side tumor due to fluoride given to you as a child on the base in New Mexico. Sir Mike said he has a pineal-enhanced side tumor. Wow. Are you serious, Sir Mike? Wow, that's serious. Wow. So we've got first-hand information that fluoride makes you gay, according to John Belushi. I didn't know that. I didn't read that in the report. And you got something, Master Meatball? What do you have? A search? A query? Search query? Are you a search query? You're showing me governor's office in Georgia. State Patrol. Why are you showing me that, Master Meatball? You always drink filtered water. Good for you, Douglas. Good, smart move. Yeah, folks, if you want to get fluoride out of your water system, I recommend reverse osmosis units. They sell water by the gallon outside your store. That's probably your best bet.
Wow. I didn't realize that, Sir Mike. I must have missed when you told me this before.
I'm cold, too. Yeah, I would turn the heat on right now, but I don't really want to plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. Should I plug this in? I can do that. Let me do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If you do, I'll stay in here.
Okay, yeah, it is obvious you're cold. Thank you for reminding me, guys. I had no idea that Sarah was suffering.
I don't know why.
No, I can see that you're freezing. You know, and considering you are contributing to utilities, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't plug this in. Oh, I know it. Good reason. There's no plug.
There's no plug. There's a plug over there.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get to it. Okay.
I used to wear those there's this one New Year's Eve.
Oh,
I
there we
got
go.
dressed up and I had stars like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I put them around my head, like just one as like a little, you know, and I put them around my arms.
Okay.
I use that tinsel stars. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then the person that I went to New Year's Eve with took me to like a desolated beach without any fireworks. It was the worst
Where was
New Year's
this?
ever.
Oh, when was this?
Before I met you.
Oh, okay. So,
But I had
yeah.
one of the best other great New Year's before I met you too, but before that.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, not even a bottle rocket. I don't even think there was a bottle rocket. No, it was awful.
My worst New Year's Eve on record was going to an apartment with a friend of mine who said he knew this girl that he'd met in a bar. It turns out he had groped her.
Oh my goodness.
And we got to the bar. I mean, we got to her apartment, and she was shocked that he would even show up as, you know. It's like I can't imagine, you know, having. It was so awkward. I mean, and what do you do when you're with a woman who felt like she was groped by this guy, and it's like, Happy New Year!
It's like, ugh, get away from me.
Cooties, cooties, cooties! I do believe he was a perv, yes.
Yes, never bring a girl to a New Year's Eve party and leave with another girl. That would be serious drama.
Oh, yeah. But no, I think he was a perv. That's why I stopped actually knowing the guy. He had a weird history of pervs in his family, too. His father was a perv.
Thank you, Shrek. I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, I knew this guy in college. I'm not going to mention his name. I'm going to try to leave names out of this, but he grew up in a dirt white, poor family of sharecroppers who lived with Mexicans in California. His family was very poor. His father was a kind of a, he was a genius. His father was a genius who ended up working as a sharecropper because he had fallen out of work in the Army Rangers. They kicked him out because he got into big fights, and so the whole story was so weird, and it turns out it wasn't even his father. And then the more I listened to this guy and I realized he came from such a rough family, I began noticing criminal behavior that it seemed criminal in every way. I mean, he would steal things, and anyway, it turns out he ended up graduating college, and he became a very, very successful insurance broker. There you have it. So I ended up cutting ties with him because he was so corrupt. I think he cheated on his drug test. It was weird. The whole thing was bizarre. You know, I never met Ron Jeremy, but I saw him on the freeway, the Hollywood freeway, one day being detained by a police officer, spread eagle, in front of his car.
Because that's where the Europeans landed first, Spectra, and it's so extremely populated.
Walton, I don't believe that Assad has any chance of dying because he's probably already dead. He probably died many years ago. There's no reason why the Russian government would make you think that Assad was dead. If they're still running Syria secretly, they would just keep Assad alive digitally. So there's no question of him dying. No, the Jeff Bridges antidote is different. That's
Anecdote, not antidote.
Yeah,
antidote
antidote.
is like a
anecdote.
cure
Thank
for
you.
some disease.
Antidote is
Anecdote
the cure.
is a small story about yourself.
Thank you. So Miss Mad Dog is on a juice diet, shaving off weight, poundage. Now, California politicians could soon be forced to wear logos of top corporate donors. This is great. About time. You know, we've always known that the two parties were run by the complete corporate cronies, And now a source, popular memes calling for politicians to wear the logos of their corporate sponsors have circulated the internet for years, but the suggestion may soon be a reality of California legislators. In the next week, a potential ballot measure submitted to the Office of Attorney General is expected to receive title and summary for the 2016 election, meaning its advocates will be able to collect signatures in order to secure its official place on the ballot. The proposed law would require legislators and candidates to support the emblems of groups that donate money to sport. Yeah, not support, sport. Because they're going to be wearing patches.
Yes.
Okay, so in lieu of that, it's safe to say that Donald Trump would be wise to be wearing all of his support, that he's getting from God knows how many corporate donors that have donated to him historically. I don't even know if he has corporate donors. Isn't he funding his own campaign? Well, I have an interesting clip to show you here about him. He says we must revoke citizenship for those who steal our resources without paying taxes. But let's start here. Yeah. All these companies that avoid taxes because they're all their crony influence in Congress. I don't think Trump has that in mind, though. I don't think he talks about corporations having to do anything. He's kind of corporate himself, isn't he? I've seen Homeland a little bit. Yeah, it's good American show. Yes, the Homeland. Kind of boring, though, I thought. We're watching a really good show called Persons of Interest right now on Netflix. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
David says I'm going to tell you a little anecdote about my life.
Who, you? I'll do anecdotes. You don't have to do anecdotes.
Anecdote.
I know. I'll do anecdotes. You don't have to do anecdotes.
Okay.
Don't give any personal relationship information over to these people. It's be like fish food in a piranha bowl. I've heard of the series called Homeland, but never Homoland. No. Costco is not on that list. Yeah, I noticed that. It's pretty cool. Costco's got a real ethical base, They're an American-based company owned by foreign companies. Is that what they are? Now, I understand Costco is an American-based company, right?
Based in...
But are they owned by foreign interests?
No, based in Washington State.
You can be based anywhere in America and be run by Chinese people. China!
Well, there's two different companies. COSCO.
All American? Oh, okay.
COSCO is a Chinese shipping company, and
okay.
COSTCO is a U.S.-owned huge box store.
Okay. Costco is different than, it's a shipping company. By the way, that coffee really sucks. That $3 coffee I bought, I'm going to have a hard time working with that.
Oh, no.
3 pounds of $3 coffee.
Oh, no.
I know.
Maybe you can put some of that Mukilteo stuff in there.
Yeah, that'll help, but I mean, it's like worse than it's the stalest restaurant coffee I think I could ever eat.
I don't know.
CNN now openly glorifying Satanists. How is that possible? Why are we even allowing CNN to glorify Satanists? Wow. Okay, let's take a look and see what's going on. Are they really the arm of the CIA, or is this just my imagination? Let's take a look.
It's just the imagination.
For the secular tradition trashing editors and correspondents over at CNN, it is the season to be bigots. As reported by Newsbusters, a recent This Is Life segment of the Little Watch Network CNN Newsroom program actually highlighted the plight of Satanists who are trying to get more widespread acceptance of their beliefs in a predominantly Judeo-Christian country, the U.S. Wow. I don't like Newsroom. I saw it. It's such liberal tripe, I can't even believe it. Can you believe how bad that show is? Spaz Nation, don't even joke about that. He shall strike you dead. Scissor Fight Christmas was originally a pagan holiday. Are we going to have a religious discussion on a political show? I mean, this is absurd. I may have to take my glasses off.
You might have to.
Whew, wow. Here I got 5 hours sleep. I'm not feeling 100%.
Why don't you go take a break? Why don't you go lay
Because I can't sleep when I'm this jazzed up for the night.
Go lay in bed and watch a TV show. That's what I do when I'm not in here with you.
Yeah, but if I did that, then I'd feel like I was
You can
doing
go
nothing.
watch one of those amazing home videos.
I do like those. I saw an
know,
amazing
and-
home suspended like an egg in the forest. It was
Yeah,
so cool.
why don't you go watch one of those? I can handle the show.
Yeah.
Then you can come back and to finish off the show. I mean, you know,
Finish
you
them
deserve
all
a,
off.
You deserve a break.
I deserve a break. I know.
Yeah, go lay down. Go lay
I
down.
should. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go lay down, guys. I'll be back. So
Yeah.
she's gonna take over the show for a while.
I'll be here for an hour or so. And then you can relax watching that show. Go ahead. Bye.
What show are you watching in there?
Well, you're watching the Amazing Homes, whatever.
Yeah. Amazing Homes. I'm watching Amazing Homes. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you should. You know you'd like that.
Missouri governor warns of historic and dangerous floods. I should do that.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why there's so little news. Why has news become like grinding halt?
I don't know. A 4.4 magnitude earthquake stroke was
Yeah, that's not even
happened
a-
near San Bernardino.
It's not even a news story. A 4.4 new San Bernardino. It's,
Okay, seriously.
I know. I'm leaving.
Bye. He's falling asleep right here. That's not a good way to sleep. You're gonna hurt your back.
All right. I should have taken a nap earlier. I'll be back.
All right, good. I know you got.
I was going to take a
your-
nap before, but everyone was coming home at the time, and I was like, oh, I better stay up and talk to people, and because I should have napped at 3. I'll be back.
I know.
All right. Thank you.
Next week it'll be back to your schedule. It'll be okay. I did hear that in Union, Missouri, they had major flooding. In fact, they have quite a few deaths in Missouri as well. Oh, not that, no. I have a very comfortable bed to lay in. No. Who's everyone? Myself and his sister is staying with us right now. So. I was out. I went to my doctor's today. I say every state matters, Cheez-Its. And you matter too. I don't smoke anything, Captain Howdy. Or ingest it in any way, shape, or form. I don't have a thing for Mary Jane. Even though I know I live in Washington State where it's totally legal. I'm not a big fan of marijuana. Just like I'm not a big fan of alcohol. I like to keep my wits about me. So, yes, I get high off life and I enjoy life and I like being happy. Being happy makes me happy. That's what I would say. Yes, I have heard that, Captain Howdy. Somebody even told me how to do that, because obviously marijuana is legal here, so. Thank you, Holly, for your advice. Once David serves 2 terms, I may actually take your advice. Oh, sorry, Pacific. No, there was no crying today, Pacific. It's in between places, Shrek. Kind of a sudden thing, but yeah. So hopefully we'll see what happens in the future. But yes, temporarily, yes. Thank you, Sumerian Water Crab. I have a tip-top mind and I'm very bright and psychologically refined. Thank you. Well, I think there's a lot going on with some people that utilize marijuana to be happy, I guess. Well, I guess that's what you could say, Captain Howdy. I don't know. Is that a term? But, yeah. I think it's by choice, though. I think. some use marijuana for anxiety and pain. So sad that you have anxiety and pain. What are you anxious about? You can't just relax? Yeah. Yes, that's true. David has a heart for his sister. He always cares for his sister and yeah, helps her, I guess. Yes, I know. Some people do think too much about the world's problems. One of the things that I found that actually helps when you're thinking about all the world's problems is think about things that you can be grateful for. I mean, if you live in the United States, David often tells me, and I have to remind him of this sometimes, but if you live in the United States, you're well off. Just being born in this country, you end up being better off than many people around the world. I mean, we have this great access to clean water. My dad was reading with the end of 2015, he read what was life like in 1915, 100 years ago. Did you know 100 years ago the number one cause of death was dysentery? People dying from unclean water. I mean, we're so lucky that we can have a tap that we can have relatively clean drinking water. Oh yes, it might have fluoride in it, but it's not going to kill you if you drink it, not from dysentery. I mean, yes, there's so much to be thankful for. We have flushing toilets. That's amazing. And then, there's this woman that I met. Well, I met her on a chat show here. Actually, it's Block TV days. And her name was Mabel Babes. And I don't think she would mind me saying that. That's why I said her name. Mabel Babes and we used to talk on Skype back when I used Skype. And at the time, she was unable to get out of bed. She was able to access the internet and chat and things like that, but she couldn't get out of bed. I mean, if you're able to get out of bed and go use the restroom on your own, that's something to be thankful for. There's so much to be thankful for in our life. I mean, I'm so thankful that I have glasses and I can actually see things when I wear them. It's pretty amazing. And even though I had some foot pain, I'm thankful that I have feet and can walk around. So I'm thankful that, I am so thankful that all of you come to our show, because, I mean, that would be really discouraging if we didn't have people coming to our show. That's really good. Clean water didn't just appear in America, neither did freedom. The English brought those ideas from the Magna Carta Libertad Trode, and the Americans expanded on individual freedom with the Constitution, and these things live on in each one of us. It's our duty to maintain the things we enjoy every day and fight for them when they're attacked. They didn't appear from the ether. It's true. And but sometimes our ideas do appear from the ether, and but we have to log onto them when you have a good idea and actually make it happen. And that's one of the reasons David does this show, is he really does believe in a third party being the answer to American solutions. Make sure your daughter is well aware that being born in the U.S. is a gift. There's her safety, opportunities. I think that, there's some people that question the education system, but I think it's a gift that we have the education system that we have in the U.S. And I would like to see a healthcare system modeled after our education system. The education system that we have, free education for students, kindergarten through 12th grade, does not necessarily guarantee anyone a job, but it provides a foundation. And I really think that it provides a foundation and ability for us to communicate. It teaches us reading and writing and math, and I really do think that is valuable. And I think that people that don't like it, it's because they say, oh, it's free and there's no monetary reward. Well, I think that healthcare should be similar, that it should be people that are doing this because they want to be of service and they get a small amount of monetary remuneration to be of service, rather than make hundreds of dollars off of someone who might be hurting or dying. Anyway, I would like to see our healthcare system based off of our education system. I don't think it was all for 50 cents, Captain Howdy. Well, maybe, but I don't think it was 50 cents. Nobody talks about the lung cancer rates of tobacco smoking Indians or tobacco chewing Indians and mouth cancer rates. You used to move your neighbor's outhouse back about 3 feet or so. Oh, man, that's pretty crazy. A digital slave. Yeah, toilets used to be outside. Some of them still are in parts of the United States. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yes, I understand. Yes, not all doctors would be able to rake in the same money that they were able previously to make. And I'm not saying I want to give all healthcare away. I think that we have a great private education system here in the United States too, even private education for elementary and middle school and high school. And I think people would still want to go to private doctors that they believed would do a better service. So I think that the private industry would not really suffer too much. And yes, exactly. Cosmetic surgery would still cost money. Your grandfather had an house and a coal heater in the heater for the house. Wow. You respect farmers. I do too. Was the Indians introduced tobacco to the world? Wow. Interesting, Pacific. I didn't really think about that, but that is true. Well, I think Sumerian water grab, I think that we can create I would like to see an online education system that was kind of a system where you work at your own pace. And once we have that in place, then meeting certain core competencies. And then once that is in place, I don't see any reason why an education couldn't happen at home. Online education is popular in Minnesota. That's very good. I just found this amazing online education thing. Actually, it's called Open Ed. I think it's opened.com. Let me double check. But what I really like about opened.com is really, I should check into what they offer in Minnesota. No. Yeah, this is it. Open. I think there's Open edX too, but this is, yeah, opened.com. They have this amazing app for Chromebooks, or I think they even have it for the yeah, you can learn from any device. So they have it on Apple, Chrome Web Store, and they have even a website, I think. Google Play, so it's available on Android ones. But it's kind of similar to, oh, that's cool. It's similar to Khan Academy, except you can do both math and language arts. And so you take some questions, and then they say, oh, you missed some questions, and these are resources to be available to help you pass these questions. So it's very cool. I should look into what they offer in, what is it, in Minnesota? Because I'm always interested in online education. I'll have to look at Open edX. But those are the kinds of things I do believe in changing education so that it would be more cost effective. Yeah, this is no. Open edX is some GoDaddy sites. So that's not it. Two things. King Cabbage, I work to make money, but I also work to provide a service. What? Captain Howdy, I don't understand. And Peter, no, I did not get any snow. We don't get a lot of snow up here. Okay. Oh, just edX. Yes, I have heard of edX.org. Okay. I think Mad Dog was telling me about edX. All right, Top USA, Eunice tried it 3 or so years ago with top professors. Didn't last long before it failed. Everyone was fighting over the profits. Well, MIT actually offers open online education. However, with MIT, the only issue is, yes, you do have to pay to have a degree. But really, when it comes down to, people should be just selling themselves and what they can do for the world. Not long now until 2016. So true. Yep, counting down the days. I'll be getting a new computer, so I'm happy about that. Yep. What do you do, King Cabbage? Do you work a real job? You took a programming course on edX, but you didn't complete it. I should try to do that, maybe. Or maybe I shouldn't talk about it. I should just do. Yes. I understand where you're coming from, Sumerian water grab, and I hope to change some of that. I do hope to. I think the method of education is a little bit different. Oh, 2016 is a leap year? Very cool. Fantastic. Wow, thank you, Pacific. Well, I'm asking you what you do, King Cabbage. And yes, I do talk about butterflies and rainbows because I think the world is better with butterflies and rainbows and focusing on those. You're a farmer? That's fantastic. Do you, I have a lot of respect for farmers. I will tell you this, King Cabbage. I would like, since this is a political show, I would like to change the, how do I say this the best? I get very disappointed when I hear certain people are receiving quote unquote disability, and yet I ask the same people who are capable of working, mind you, I say, would you be willing to work on a farm if you got paid $20 an hour? And these people receiving disability say, no, I wouldn't be willing to work on a farm for $20 an hour. That's too hard. I get very frustrated with that, and I would like to see some rules change so that people would be taught more farming skills. I educate. But I will say I do have a lot of respect for farmers. I actually was just doing some research on vermicomposting, and I think it's amazing how much you can grow with the worm castings. And I think that what you do is really amazing in king cabbage. Because working on the farm, if we didn't have farmers, there would be no point to the rest of society. So, and you're right, you probably work harder than anyone else in this chat room, unless they're a farmer too. Well, yeah. I know some people on disability work side jobs, but it's amazing to me how many, no, these two individuals that I asked, Boo Boo Kitty, they were capable of lifting things. They were disabled due to mental issues, not actual physical issues. Yeah, worm beds are pretty amazing. I know this one company here locally, they try to educate people about worm composting, and it's amazing. Like, worms can eat their body weight. If it's a warm day, they can eat their whole body weight. That's a good question, Pacific. I never got to the end of it. Maybe one of them might have had schizophrenia. Yes, we could classify farm work as agricultural therapy. Unless the farmers themselves, if someone like King Cabbage was working on the farm and is like, no, I cannot have this person work on a farm, they are definitely too disabled to be working on a farm, then that would be different. But I really think that farms are fantastic, and my hats go off to farmers. They do work harder. There won't be one group of people that work harder than I do, I would say. And I think it's fantastic. Oh, you thought we had a private farm on our acres of land? Well, we do try to grow food on our land. And we don't have acres and acres of land. 1 acre, that's it. But it's our particular land sometimes doesn't have the best soil, so we would need to do vermicomposting in order to grow anything decent. Okay. Yeah, I'm a pacifist. A head of cauliflower just costs $6.49 each there. I hope that's organic cauliflower. That's the only reason I would pay that much for cauliflower, even though I do feel like farmers work so hard and probably don't get paid enough. So we're the Downtown Abbey of Vaughn. I actually have not seen that show. Yeah, maybe it is time to learn to grow a cauliflower, Peter. Get some cauliflower seeds this spring, and maybe next year you'll be eating your own cauliflower. You do have to watch out for aphids. I tried growing a cauliflower and broccoli once, and I did have some aphids on them. But if you get some butterflies, then it would... not butterflies, ladybugs, that helps with the aphids. Oh, you're in Canada. Oh, so the US dollar is driving up the price. All right, a digital slave, you said, All large veggie farms around there only pay minimum wage, so they only hire students, have a deal going with immigration to bring a bunch of Mexicans in every summer for temporary labor. Yes, that happens up here too. There was this case though recently where they did say, like, the farmers that brought in immigrant workers have to do at least they have to provide adequate housing for the laborers that they bring in. Wow. But yeah, ladybugs are good to keep aphids away. But yeah, I don't like the fact that they hire immigrants to do the jobs. However, at the same time, they have this like campaign, Take Our Jobs. If you just Google that, there's this campaign where they say, well, if you don't like immigrant workers, you could come work on a farm. And you know, yeah, I'm not Miss Scruffy, so you'll have to contact her. So the immigrants live in mobile homes right on the edge of the field. Yeah, the people say, no, I don't want to work on a farm, and the immigrants do the work, and that's where we are now and where we'll probably be in the future. So it's kind of frustrating, I would say. Working on a farm is a lot of work. You have to get up before dawn and work all day in the field. I'm really glad that we have gone toward more automation. I mean, people talk about automation like it's a bad thing, but if we didn't have automation, we'd need a lot more people to work on the farms than we do now. And now the farmers, it's amazing the equipment that some of them have the ability to use. And I would say that equipment needs to be more readily available to farmers if they request it. And that's the like they can actually do remote controlling of the actual plowing of their fields. Yes, robots are taking many manual jobs, and I, for one, do not see that as a bad thing. I believe that when robots take the manual labor, then we would be able to, it lowers the price of all of that, the goods that are produced as a result of the manual labor, one. And two, I also believe that it frees up these incredible people to be able to do other intellectual tasks. I mean, there's things that you can dream up and do if you're not busy doing manual labor. Yes, labor tends to be the highest cost of almost any product or service. It's true. Yes, let the bad jobs go to the robots until the robots complain. Yes, it's like giving away $1 billion would be like making 1,000 people millionaires. HTML expert. You're not an HTML expert, you're an HDML expert, not an HDMI expert. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet, on Earth. I'm working on that, Spaz Nation. The thing is, though, if you say I take away 1 billion jobs, really, though, what I would say, HDML expert, that we really have to think about what is the benefit of those jobs in the first place. I mean, when you say I'm taking away jobs, really, the people have the jobs to have houses. The people have the jobs to afford all of these other things in life. So if you're able to provide those same resources through a different route, rather than people having to invest all of this manual labor into obtaining those things, I think that's a benefit to the world. One billion seconds is 33 years. Yeah, exactly, giraffe brain. And what? Not JavaScript, but yeah. It's cooler in summer in Winterpeg, Canada than in Mexico. Oh, yes. Wow. Wow. I don't blame you, a digital slave. A million seconds is a week. A billion seconds is 33 years. Wow. And you're right. You're probably right. Me talking about a billion jobs in... And I don't intend to take away jobs. I tend to believe that I would like to talk about how to make life better for people. So I think that we do have to definitely consider the human elements when you're talking about different things. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Yabi. I'm not a problem. Yes. How can you well, Pacific, I really think that it's about giving a voice. Two things why we started America's Third Party and why I'm involved in America's Third Party. One, I believe that yes, a third party can definitely have a chance, especially when people realize that the primary two parties seem to be basically two sides to the same coin. They don't seem to really offer an actual choice to people, and there's people that say this doesn't really represent me. So that's one of the reasons, is to give people an alternative to what everyone else is doing. The other reason is that I seriously believe that people should pursue their dreams, and David's dream is to be president. That's another reason that I am doing this. So, and I will say that if a third party doesn't have a chance, it's not because of what we're doing. It is because of the political process that was put in place, especially ballot access laws. I didn't know about ballot access laws before we started this venture, and it is amazing how controlled this system is. There are different laws for people running for president. There's different laws for people running for president in every single state. There are different laws, and two, the laws are different for ballot access. If you're in one given state running for president, the same office, there can be up to 5 different laws. So I think I've done a really good service just enlightening people to the fact of all of this control. Not necessarily. I mean, I think that we provide a place for people to come and communicate, and David definitely has people have a chance to communicate with you, and I think that provides a service. So, you know, I do admire people that are picking fruit. I suppose I'd have to be in China, though, to pick fruit at this hour, or in the dark picking fruit. Yes. I I would like to see a change made to the Constitution saying if people are running for an amendment or a federal law, that if people are running for a particular office, they should have the same laws applied to them. Actually, that would be a 14th Amendment, so I might have to take this up with the Supreme Court or something, because it seems like the 14th Amendment says all laws apply to the same people equally, yet the states can have 5 different laws for people running for the same political office. Doesn't seem like that's applying the laws equally. Yes, well, Yabi, you'll have to go back on YouTube and bookmark that page and download it and watch it over and over. So, hello, Juan. Oh, Happy New Year, Peter. Thank you, Holly B. I am what I am. Well, I do focus on things I can actually accomplish during the days that this is an avocation for myself. Not that I'm not completely serious about it, but specific, an avocation. All right. Oh, you didn't know it was on YouTube, the Halloween video? Yeah, you'll have to go back to see the upload date. But youtube.com/AmericasThirdParty. You know how the story will develop into the rest of the Star Wars trilogy. Okay, Juan. I thought this was like the end of the series of the Star Wars. Whatever. Yeah. Not that I'm aware of, Captain Howdy. In fact, I encourage states to go, you know, it's up to the states whether they want to have a marriage law or not, and they don't have to. In fact, Mississippi said they stopped. I don't know if they've continued this practice, but they actually decided to stop issuing marriage certificates when it, or marriage licenses, when the Supreme Court came down with that ruling, because basically it's about the 14th Amendment, is that it's equal protection under the law. It's all about, if you're going to pass a law, it should be the same law should apply to everyone, no matter what. So, yeah. Cha, I had to look it up. It means yes, a cha-cha is a dance, but just cha is a thing that usually means yes in chat room things. I could write a script about running for president as a third party. I definitely could do that. True. Yeah. I couldn't. Well, I think you could almost do anything, cheddar cheese. You're capable. Oh, Asset DJ is Boink? Or am I confused? Yes. Thank you, Sunstar. Oh, you don't think so, huh, Cheddar? Well, I'm just thankful that you're wrong and I'm capable of doing those kinds of things, Cheddar Cheese. I hope that you're capable of doing them. I'd be thankful for that too. You mean in your next life you're going to be a large eagle of some kind? I don't... What do you mean, Spaz Nation? He's already not only woken up on his own, he's woken many other people up. You are who you want to be. Oh, you're that person too? Sure. Wow. Someone's kind of rude. Yes, The Martian was a successful movie. Yep, true. I ran for Washington State Senate back at the time I ran. There was a pretty popular state senator I was running against, and I received 5% of the vote because I did run under America's Third Party, or prefers America's Third Party. It was right at the time when they had the top two go into effect. So I did that, which was pretty good. Yes, you can run even if you have crooked teeth. And I definitely had some not so good teeth at the time. That was in 2008. So that was, and that, it was a good experience for me. I went to the meetings and campaigned, and there was people that liked me. I might have, if I ran today, I probably might have even done better, though. Especially now, because the person I ran against, she's no longer a state senator, and you might know with politics, people that are popular tend to be reelected and things like that. So now the particular person in that office is not very popular. So I'll be looking at that. But right now, yeah. And then at that same time, I helped David start his political campaign. Yeah, I do believe my education platform would be strong, and I strongly support teachers as well. I have this pretty amazing idea that I would love to see implemented for education, which is to have teachers evaluate other teachers, but not be able to add anything negative to their evaluation, but be able to actually add positive things to their evaluation. So that would be very good. I'm not going to reply to you anymore, Mr. Cheese, besides saying that. Oh. Corona Caltrans signs were hacked with a pro-Trump message. Oh, wow. They reprogrammed it. Wow. The sign was the Riverside County Transportation Commission said the sign was a prank. Oh, someone accessed the message sign, hacked into the message, and changed it for their own purposes. I don't know if I would call that a prank. I mean, anyway. Thank you. Pacific, I don't, but yeah. Yes, it is spelled Sarah with an H. Thank you for asking. He's going to spend $2 million a week until the primaries on his campaign. Ugh. Wow. That's another thing. It's just amazing how much money people spend on campaigning. I don't have that amount in our coffers to spend that. I'll probably be going to. I definitely will be doing the paperwork in the next week to send to the FEC, so you can check that in mid-January. It should not be about how much money you spend. Being president should not be about how much money you spend. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you too, Pacific. That was not something I would be sharing with David. Okay. So Robert Scribbler says, warm Arctic storm is going to hurl hurricane force winds at UK and Iceland and push temperatures to 36 to 72 plus degrees above normal at the North Pole. Wow. The vast region stretching from the North Atlantic to the North Pole and into the broader Arctic is just super high. It has warm tropical air that's hurling itself all the way to the North Pole. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I think that people could personally solve a lot of problems with the cash that they spend on campaigns. If I had $2 million, Trump, or whoever's listening, yeah, I think that's a good thing, Pacific, or whatever money he's spending. Yeah, I would say, here's what I personally would do if I had $2 million to spend per week on campaigning. This is what I would do. I would hire or build a mobile medical unit. Actually, Walgreens, I would be in talks with them because they actually have a system that's available. I've seen it at Walgreens. But I would hire a real doctor and say, come work for me for however many weeks he's planning to do this, and then go to each, and I would do this for as many as I could afford, but instead of spending money on advertising, I would spend money on doctors directly, and I would say, at this city, first come, first serve, medical checkup is offered for free or low cost. You make a $20 contribution to my campaign and you get a medical checkup. Well, of course, Trump's not going to do that. He's saying that he doesn't want it, or do it for free. But if he did that and it was all about the Trump medical system, I tell you, he went over all of the votes of people that he's upset, he would have a chance of winning them over. Or if there's another issue, the other ones, yes, I'm sure there are some nonprofits that do good stuff like that. They don't always have the money to do it. He's not going to be able to round up immigrants and send them home with his $2 million. So I'm just saying, yeah, Holly, thank you too for coming in and chatting. Have a great night and a happy new year if I don't see you before then. Yes, Doctors Without Borders is an excellent organization, and I think they do great work. I know, 2016, it's only like 3 days away. Pretty amazing. almost 2.5 days. It's funded mostly by people on the internet randomly. Wow, that's very cool, Oregon Ducks. And it's the doctors that are giving up their time. And yes, it does something. It's true. One of the things I actually also am in favor of people that take in foreign exchange students into their homes. There was this one foreign exchange student organization, I can't remember the name of it, but the reason that they started their particular foreign exchange organization is because the people that started it were in Germany after World War II, and there was so much devastation and so many dead bodies, and they were helping to clean up that from the war. And they said that if they could bring people together to realize we're all human, then maybe it would prevent wars in the future. And so they started the International Foreign Exchange Program. Yes, that's true. You have to develop a right skill set to start anything. And some people talk. But yes, and I think that's one of the things that David talks about is he has all these great ideas, and having the ability to get people to implement those would be very good. Yep. Yeah, for what we have, we are very, very blessed. Acquiescence. I forgot how do I spell acquiescence. I think I spelled that wrong. David does open a lot of people's minds, it's true. I think this is the right spelling, but I'm going to go check. And there's not, the thing is, dreaming is the first step. Oh, I was wrong. I was one letter off.
All right, I'm back. That was a nice rest. Thank you.
No. One too many S's.
Acquiescence.
To be awake is to not have a dream.
Okay. So let's go ahead and read the chat. There we go. A few purge messages here, I see. Pacific, why have you been allowed to come into your...
He didn't say anything until that statement.
Okay. What work are you talking about?
Which you can't see because you didn't read
Well, you gotta understand,
before.
I've spent the past 7 years, 4 hours a night, if not more, doing what is necessary to establish the groundwork for a political party.
And millions will be happy.
And so far I've encountered the worst apathy I've ever encountered in American history. There is no limit to the level of apathy that we have here in America. So I really believe that what we're dealing with here is perhaps the effects of mass poisoning. I believe that all of you have probably induced fluoride into your system, and you probably don't even know how bad off you are.
Well, what I was reading was, oh goodness, why can't I go back down?
So it is almost a no-win situation when you have that much fluoridated people.
Divinus Super said,
stand back and say nothing.
Open up
that's your
community
wish.
core, have the community on board, and resume power back from the Fed. The Fed will only assume that you want certain services through your acquiescence.
I've got a strategy to build a parallel infrastructure bank that could run for a while and build business and opportunity for American companies while we decommission the Federal Reserve and retire their charter. It's not that complicated. What needs to be done is rather simple, but we have incredible corruption in our country, way worse than you could even imagine. It's kind of sad to see that so many people misled by a variety of opinions that are being promoted that we're somehow free or democratic, which in no way is the case. So if you can imagine a big baby that's fat and has a pacifier in its mouth, that would be the mindset of the American people. And they'd rather suck on the pacifier than actually step out and do something extraordinary. I'm afraid you're the baby. I'm the guy who faced reality a long time ago. Yeah, if you're still connected to the pacifier or sucking on the pacifier, then you basically there's no way you could separate and build any new thought patterns. You're simply living in the same justifications that you've used all your life. And you'll stand there and say, oh, you're doing your part by watching this show. Or whatever. It doesn't matter. But clearly we're at a brink point in our society where if we don't do something now, it's over. Everything you have ever believed in is going to be taken away from you. The world as we know it will be over. It's just a reality that we're having to live with. The fact of the matter is there's a small group of people in the world that run the world, and they are incredibly greedy, and they don't want a lot of people on the earth. They have the means, the power, and the method to eliminate 95% of the population by the year 2026. And they're implementing that plan right now as we speak. You may think there's no plan at all. There's nothing going on. Well, I can tell you, bless you, there's GMOs in our body that are now affecting our ability to function. Cancer rate is up because of all kinds of environmental factors. The autism rate and childhood ADHD levels have increased so much that by 2020, you're going to see 50% of your kids walking around going, they won't know what to do. I did not find it very realistic, Captain Howdy. I thought that was pathetic. That makes a blow-up doll look appealing. I mean, it's not a realistic sex doll. I mean, that's absurd. I couldn't believe it. You actually have to move its body parts. Can you imagine having to move a robot's body parts?
It's your best
Yeah, you're right,
for
Jesus.
saving money.
Yeah. Saving money is don't spend it.
Yes.
Yep.
And the thing is, when you think you want to spend money, here's the thing. Tell yourself, you know what? If I really need this, I'm going to come back and buy it tomorrow. Go home. And if you can live without it for a day, you can live without it forever.
Believe me, in 10 years, you're going to want to take and get rid of all that crap you bought last year. It's not purposeful to buy crap you're never going to use, or use once and then never go back. Simplicity is the answer. Less is more. Simplicity is the key to a long-term survivable and sustainable world. If we don't achieve simplicity, and believe me, it's the opposite of what we got right now. There is so much consumerism going on in our culture, and it's being pumped up in our country every day when you watch TV commercials, you want to consume, that you are literally mapping your way into a lifetime of servitude as a wage slave. Because the more you spend, the more you have to go out and make.
I'm so glad you take my advice, Sister Fight. That's good.
Yeah, and this consumerism is a plot by the elitists to profit and exploit everybody in America or everybody in the world.
Well, that's true, Pacific. There are some things you buy that are a luxury that you really don't need. But they're so much fun to have, so.
Raccoon steals donut.
Instead of watching the raccoon steal a donut, can we watch this instead?
Sure.
If you're going to play that, I'd rather play
Flooding
this.
in Raccoon. Missouri state emergency. This rare December flooding prompts.
Good evening. It's the kind of
Good evening.
weather emergency we typically see after springtime snow melts, but this year it's happening in December. In some places, the water has already swallowed homes and
Branson,
businesses.
Missouri.
In others, they're sandbagging and waiting.
Sandbagging. These sandbaggers are. Look at these sandbaggers.
Up and down the Mississippi and its tributaries, there is more water coming. In the St. Louis area, the river is expected to crest tomorrow at its second highest level ever, and flooding could last for days to come.
Yeah.
NBC's Kevin Tibbles has our report.
We're here currently at the flood backing of the sand traps here in Missouri state of emergency. I'm standing here with Sarah Hart.
There's this guy that made this incredible shovel to pack sandbags.
Go ahead.
He would you'd pack it and then you just lift it and it just falls.
Oh yeah, the sandbag shovel.
I saw that on like Shark Tank or something.
Yeah, where is that sandbag shovel? Let's look it up. Sandbag shovel. We're currently here at the. You know that there's Fort Calhoun on the Missouri River where the radiation levels could spike. David, you guys have Energy Trust up there? No, I don't even know what it is. Oregon. No, we get screwed by our energy company. They're out of Canada. They're ripping us all off. Yeah, there's sandbaggers everywhere. Hey, you've done your part tonight. Boy, you really pulled a long night tonight. 1 hour on the dot with extra run time. This has been great. Yes, sir. Oh, there we go. Oh wait, we have to adjust the green screen. This is not acceptable.
Why?
Well, for one, I run a value of 12, not 39.
I didn't put that there.
That's my fault. All right, Lemmy passed away. Yeah, we heard about that. Flooding in the St. Louis County area is absolutely insane.
Benton, Mississippi.
Yeah.
They're all muted. We'll just run the poor water.
No one has any HIV. What the hell's your problem, man? Asset DJ, you got HIV, man. You're the one who believes you have HIV. Here's Asset DJ. He has had 1,300 scenes in the porn industry. 1,347 scenes. And he's had, that's probably about 1,347 partners. And he's telling you have HIV? Dude, you have HIV. We got a real collection of real losers here. Let's open up guest chat. Guy who, God, I just can't believe this is on. We got to have better guests here. Come on in, guests. Let's talk. I can't believe you're in a situation where you can't share. We want to give you access to our show. I have a real gun. Yes, I do. I am very proud of the weapons that I have. You're a loser. He's a loser. Hello there. Finally, I know. 524. People want to get into the show. They just love to talk. No, that's okay. No, Connie's not homeless. She's just transitional. She went to Australia for 3 months. You have no idea how wonderful that could be. And she's planning another world trip somewhere. I think my sister's really enjoying life. It's nice to see her fulfill her incredibly open spirit. Yeah, you're disenfranchised? Most of us are. Don't feel bad. Rocky the raccoon knocks at the door for food. Oh, you want me to do the raccoon thing, Scissor Fight? Okay, here we go. And a 1 and a 2. We're going to leave the Missouri floodlines and go to Rocky Raccoon.
He is doing it. Okay.
Stealing a donut.
Okay. If he falls out of that hole, he's gonna have Oh yeah.
Why is this interesting?
This is incredible.
This is not interesting.
So we've come to the conclusion we actually have to watch a Rocky Raccoon. Oh, I know. I can get angry anytime I want. The nice thing about people being upfront in their face, my sister and I have always had a very verbal relationship. You get to just experience that whenever you see us on camera. Sarah I didn't know she was a wife. Did you get married? Wow.
I didn't get married yet.
Sarah hasn't gotten married yet. She hasn't been married to anyone yet.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. You were awesome.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I'll see you mañana.
Thank you. Yay! Sarah was the best person on the show. You were awesome, Sarah. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you took a little break.
Oh, I did. I got to watch it's Extreme Homes. It's not Amazing Homes. It's Extreme Homes I was watching. It's a really good show. Nope. We have a wonderful border between the U.S. and Canada, and we need to maintain our good videonic surveillance system that we currently have there. Paquette 90 wants me to see Trudeau Maitre. Days in office, 56. 12 of 196 goals in progress. Achieved 6 of 196. Broken 1 of 196. I like it. I like that. I like the way he's handling his government. That's really nice. Very cool. Thank you, Paquette. It is very interesting. I love the idea of putting together a plan. Connie is traveling around the world. What do you mean homeless? That's absurd. You don't call somebody who's traveling around the world homeless. I don't plan on bringing Connie on the show anymore simply because she interrupts me. I thought I explained that in my last outburst. Anybody who doesn't own a home outright, technically you could call them homeless. You can call people living in mortgages that are owned by the bank homeless. I mean, it's a semantics discussion. I didn't think that Connie and Rodney are engaged. Yeah, unless, of course, Rodney somehow managed to finagle his way into my sister's life without us knowing it. Yeah, I'd be very surprised to find that out. Connie interrupts incessantly. I had to ask her, in a boisterous way to get the hell out of here. Sorry. Well, actually, I agree with you, though. I don't plan on being a homeowner the rest of my life. I want to be a world traveler like my sister someday. I'm actually interested in liquidating all of my assets and traveling the world like a vagabond with a knapsack and a wild imagination. Yeah, maybe I could hang out in, various places around the world and talk with people. I would love to do that. I never had a chance to talk with people in my life. I've just had a monitor in front of me most of my life. I did unban all, guess 572. We've only had 7 bans since then. Oh no, I disagree. I totally have the enthusiasm that that everyone sees every night when I do the show. However, my sister, she's somewhat lacks focus. Yeah, she's more interested in just experiencing life, I think. I think that's wonderful. Me, I'm like a clock. I start the show every day. I've been here for 7 years consistently every night, doing my darndest to try to start this party, and realizing too that everyone is pretty much brain dead in our country. You especially, guest 729, you have your head up your ass. Is that enthusiastic enough for you? Believe me, if you had a situation where you had, people talking to you incessantly, you probably would go, shut up! But, when you do that and you're running for president, people think you're a bad man. You're an angry man. Oh, yeah. No, I'm just trying to get some clarity here. And I know how to shut people down. You put me in front of Donald Trump and he'll be like a church mouse in about 3 minutes. He won't even know which way to go to the bathroom, whether number 1 or number 2. He'll be saying number 1.5. He won't even know. Number 1, number 2, it'll be a big decision for him. Well, you need to go to AmericasThirdParty.com and click on your state and simply ask your Secretary of State for a petition to get a president on the ballot. That's it. Well, you tell me what Rodney's code name is right now. If you know Rodney's code name, if he's meeting my sister right now in secrecy and without me knowing it, you tell me what the code name is. Just if you can come up with that code name, then I will definitely be like on red alert here. I'll be like, oh my God, I gotta make a phone call. I gotta call her and tell her this dude that you're meeting. Now just give me the code name. No, not Big Steve. You can't even come up with it. Frisco says, what would you do if your son was at home crying all on the bathroom floor because he's hungry and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man whore to earn a bit of money? Whoa, Frisco, wow. I met a guy, and I agree with you, 524. Donald is a businessman, and not a very good one at that. He's had 4 corporate bankruptcies. That's not a good sign of that he's a good businessman. What, do you control your sister? No, I just asked her to remove herself from the show because it was getting out of control. I don't control her. She can do whatever she wants. I don't really have a problem with her dating anybody, but if it turns out she's dating Rodney, that would be kind of freaky. Yeah, then I definitely have to invoke the stalking order. Good dude. Microscopic metal orb discovered on Earth's stratosphere could be origin of terrestrial life. Or it could be a piece of flying plastic floating in the atmosphere. Metallic orb oozing with biological matter was traveling at high speeds. Oh my gosh. Someone expurged a Kotex pad from one of the NASA space flights. Oh well, you can't always guarantee what's going in the trash. I don't really believe that Shrek is Rodney. I'm pretty sure he's not. I've analyzed his vocal patterns and determined that his voice is not as low as Rodney's. It's low, though. And Dave, please go to your doctor and have a real discussion about OCD and blood pressure. No, I don't have any blood pressure problems. And I'm not OCD, Serengeti. Yeah. I didn't get much sleep last night. I got 5 hours of sleep, but it felt like broken sleep. So I've been doing a lot of writing, burning the light at both ends. So yeah, if I look a little tired, or it's because I've been working nonstop. I'm trying to deliver a really interesting story. It's kind of like the man who fell to Earth. Except it's the man who Earth fell on. Yeah. Donald didn't technically file bankruptcy. He has personal integrity in his finances because he just takes money off of every corporate loss. Corporate bankruptcies are something you can't just shirk as not being your responsibility. I mean, clearly Donald is involved with corporate bankruptcies, 4 of them. Yeah. No, I don't have any psychosis, man. No history of mental illness, no OCD, and I don't have blood pressure issues. I'm incredibly physically fit. I think my pulse is like equivalent to an athlete, like 65. Look I'm tired. I may be grouchy, but I will take it out on you. How long should I wait to hang out for someone who has gastroenteritis? Frisco, are you taking care of a child with gastroenteritis? Are you trying to perform sex acts with men in order to pay for your child's heat in his house? I mean, what's going on with you? It sounds like you're troubled. No, he went bankrupt. His investments went bankrupt. Yeah. Yeah, whenever your investments go bankrupt, that's called bankruptcy, you freak. Hey, Randall, how are you? Hey, you got VIP status. Look at that. Randall paid the big bucks. Randall, making copies. Well, all I can tell you is you wait around till you find out that you no longer need to take care of that person for whatever reason. VIP is like, I guess $15 a month or something. I don't know. I got mine gifted. I don't even know what it's worth. Dow Jones still hovering at 1,070 for gold and 1397 for silver. Silver kind of hovering now, right around 14. Mark paid for VIP for Randall. Randall, are you a male prostitute? Was a gift? Wow, that's pretty impressive. Okay, you pay for my stuff with counterfeit money? Captain Howdy, you're committing a 25-year prison sentence. You realize that? Randall, are you a male prostitute? Just let it out. We know you're an amazing person. Just okay. I didn't mean to say that, Randall. You've always given me a lot of good, favorable. You said looking good, Dave. You're tracking all IPs. Well, you're not allowed to do that here in Vaughn. Vaughn said you can't track IPs here. Yeah, unless you're the NSA. Are you the NSA?
No, I'm guest 8911164272686.
Randall is... Now, have you had a bad rap with other people, Randall? Oh, Randall's gone. He's later, turds. He's out of here. Randall casts on Chatterbait with tokens he beats his wit. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. Oh no! Oh, you hurt my sensibilities. Oh no. Oh, that's like a good, cathartic moment. A verbal orgasm. Okay, any other questions? Because I think we've established that you're all brain dead except for a few. And some of you are actually thinking about giving up fluoride as a daily juice. Excuse me, I don't have a therapist and I don't need mental help. Wow, you guys don't even know what the definition of mental illness is, do you? Look it up. Yeah. I want all of you to assume the lotus position. Let me get my feet up here. I feel like my secret sensei. Water in the fluoride in the water pain machine is something you can filter out with a reverse osmosis. You guys basically have a serious case of heavy-duty fluoridation. Your pineal gland is so calcified you're unable to actually have complex thoughts. Now you're letting your genitals do your talking and you're thinking through your wee-wee. That's not good. You've been pimping your friend out? That's disgusting. This is pathetic. I started the show off talking about lepenis. It's a form of leprosy where your penis falls off. Are you suffering from lepenisy? Okay. Well, if you are, you contact your doctor because there's a treatment for it. No, a reverse not Donny Osmond. A reverse osmosis filter, not the reverse Donny Osmond position. You know that Donny Osmond suffers from agoraphobia? That's why you never see him walking around outside. DuPont is to cut 1,700 jobs in Delaware. Are there 1,700 jobs in Delaware? I didn't know there were that many people in Delaware. Uh-oh, there goes the Delaware votes. DuPont Chief Executive Ed Breen. That sounds like a toothpaste or some sort of a hair cream. He announced the layoffs, which account for 28% of its current Delaware workforce. Well, isn't this part of the DuPont Dow merger? Yeah, they're merging, you know. DuPont provided no additional details. They're just cutting these jobs. Boom, boom, boom. And there's no mention of the the Dow Chemical merger here. Wow. And I'm speed reading. Wow. Okay, here we go. The company's post-merger materials sciences business will be located in Midland, Michigan, the corporate home of Dow Chemical. I don't like anything. I'm not into liking things. I either love it or hate it. Teflon is losing traction. Well, no pun intended. But Teflon is no longer the popular stickless fry pan ware solution. In fact, they're phasing Teflon out. Well, Donny Osmond suffers from agoraphobia. The deciding state will be the state of sanity. Those living in the state of sanity will make the decisions. The rest will have absolutely no clue. Any other questions? I think we established that we were going to talk about politics tonight, and the truth is always very much a big part of our show. Did you hear that? Well, I don't even think it matters, really. But, yeah, well, who cares? Let's move on. I know. Well, you've already decided you have no power. Yeah. Many of you who've made that decision, having watched years of Alex Jones scaring the living daylights out of you, asking you if you're going to be on the red list, you're going to be on the blue list. Where are you going to be? Are you going to be RFID chipped? You know, many of you are so scared, you don't even know that you have a chance to save the nation and your own future. But you're so shocked and scared that you even have a choice in life that you're just going to kind of go back into the fetal position and nurse on your nipple of fluoridation. No, I didn't fall downstairs, but I did take a big tumble on a bike one year. It's just one of those things. When you get on a bike, you don't always know if it's safe. And I don't recommend people doing a lot of bike riding. Frankly, it's a dangerous thing. Nope, never had any problem with paint chips, no. Sir Waffles, I never made fun of you at all. And what did I say that made fun of you? Just name one thing I said that made fun of you. You saved money at Quicko? Good for you. Why are you feeling bad? What did I say that upset you, Sir Waffles? We know how very sensitive you are, and we don't want to, in any way disturb you. Texas is going to allow open carry. It's not legal until January 1st, 2016. Well, that's fine, yeah. Yeah, I like the open carry laws. It's perfectly fine with me. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, the forces killed 10 Islamic leaders to Russia's 1. I know. That's if you believe the CIA. Oh, I'm sorry, degrading all of America? Oh, I was only trying to remind everybody how absolutely fluoridated they were, and not to feel bad that they are incredibly apathetic. I'm trying to make you feel better about yourself by understanding what's really going on. Don't blame yourself for being unable to go to your local state and call your Secretary of State and get a petition to get me on the ballot. It's not your fault. I don't think that there is an actual disease that is justifiably accurate at calling it Anosognosia. You know, the pronunciation alone is a little strange. It's an ancient Greek term. It's a deficit of self-awareness, a condition in which a person who suffers a certain disability seems unaware of the existence of his or her disability. That's absurd. It's not even you know, declaring it as an actual disease, it's like absurd. It really is. It's an assessment tool is all it is. Yeah, it's just one of those many labels that many people in the junk science profession of psychology like to engage in. It's like calling a witch doctor a nutcase because you don't understand witch doctors. Which doctor would you go to? I'm not nuts, trust me. I'm fully functional, a normal, sane individual. In fact, I consider myself super sane. Well, you have an art degree. That would make you, what? A person with an art degree? Sadly, Hillary will take this one. Terrible. I know. Yeah, well, you guys had every opportunity to stop it from happening in 2016, but you didn't do anything. You can blame yourself for the whole thing. Now, Bush has canceled his trip to Europe in anticipation of what many people say could be a call for his arrest by The Hague. Many Amnesty International and other groups asked Swiss authorities to investigate the former president for torture. I can't imagine him being, you know, running around Europe anyways when he's got to stay near his connections in America. Will George W. Bush set foot in Europe again in his lifetime? A planned trip by Bush to speak at the Switzerland-based United Israel Appeal later this week has been canceled after several human rights groups called for Swiss authorities to arrest Bush and investigate him for authorizing torture. Well, you know, a study was done on torture and rendition, and it turns out that Barack Obama did more than Bush. No, I don't idolize any Looney Tune people. No, I'm a very peace-loving man. I believe that sanity exists within the inner core of the inner sanctum of happiness. Once you achieve the inner sanctum of happiness, sanity is right out in the open. Look, if you write Trump in on your ballot, you might as well just get the hell out of my room right now. We don't want your stupid brain in our show. Okay, doggy style? So get the hell out of here right now. I'm going to ask you to leave. Just go away. We don't want Trump supporters here. You're too stupid to be in our room. God, Captain Howdy, you are so sick. I know your brain's fine. I never questioned your sanity, 709. Another alternative health doctor killed, found in a makeshift grave, folks. Is this the 16th or am I on the 15th right now? Yeah, this is the 15th. Oh my God. You know, this happened a couple days ago. Another alternative health doctor who is aware of the cures for cancer that the FDA says that you can't dispense. They don't want anyone to get cured of cancer. Another one has passed away. Oh, this is so tragic. Oh, the mysterious doctor deaths are getting even more concerning. Now a Canadian alternative health doctor has been found. Linnea Vinot has found dead just a few days before Christmas. Even the police report said the place Vinot and her family resided was a safe place. It's a rash of weird suicides and mysterious deaths, circumstances unknown. You know, it's a self-sealing premise, and I'm going to ask you to stop with your crap about anosognosia. Yeah, I think it's absurd. And a lot of you junk science idiots who believe in this tripe called psychology really should know one thing, and that is that you're a sick freak. I'm gonna purge you. I wish I could ban you. Vaughn's ban rules are so weird. It's strange. The situation is that much of the junk science that you've been taught by psychologists is completely ineffective, unproven. Let me just verify one thing. Name one person with psychosis who's actually had cured his psychosis, his or her psychosis. Name one psychotic that's no longer psychotic because of psychology. I rest my case. Thank you. Not one person has been cured of psychosis since the advent of this junk science we call psychology. I could claim that laying on of the hands, the Reiki method, will give you more success than psychology. And you know something? I probably would be right. If I laid hands on your head, you would calm yourself and you're, oh, thank you. I feel so much better now. Well, sick freak is a lot better than a psychological diagnosis. Just calling you a sick freak just makes me feel better. Yeah, they just medicate people. So there's no science behind anything. Anybody could be walking around in a fugue state, a belladonic haze of medication and synergistic effects, like maybe you're on Viagra and Klonopin, and you can't get it up, even with the Viagra. Well, I'm a little bit pissed, doggy style. Ask your grandpa if you would like somebody. If you stood in a guy's room every night and the guy delivered it in a transparent message and talked directly to you in chat, and you turned around and said you were going to vote for some scumbag in a corporate tower eating... I have some bags because I got 5 hours sleep. I told you that. If you were in a no, there's no help for you, 824. I'm not mentally ill. You are. It's pretty obvious. Well, last voting slips be abounding in the show here. Yeah. I don't want to hit the bong because I don't need to hit a bong or a gong to make a sound. I can do any number of things. I even have a sound device right here. I have 4 sounds I can make. Rim shot, rim job, and no, I'm just kidding. Crickets and applause. Yeah, you're suffering from anal warts. I can. It's pretty obvious the way you're squirming around in the chat room. Let me ask you: have you ever had a person talk to you as candidly as I talk to you every night? Seriously, your sound is just as bad as mine. It's not your problem. I've got a bad mic. Don't worry about it. I have practiced my presidential wave. This is the non-caring wave. This is the I'm so impressed with myself, I'm going to wave because I'm impressed with myself. This is the English wave. The Queen would use this. It's a gay wave? No, this is a gay wave. We got all kinds of waves. But have you ever experienced this type of transparency with a presidential candidate? Ever? I don't think you've ever gotten near this level that I give you every night for free. No, Donald Trump, I'm not bleeding from my eyes. You're just obsessed with blood or something. So natural, not a good thing. Rest yourself. You're going to get too wet. Too much energy? You're right. I'll calm down. Yeah, what is the Trump Nazi salute wave? Yeah. Look at 709, you're messed up in the head. You've been watching too many criminal shows on TV. You're obviously losing it. Dude, I have no mental illness, never had mental illness. You know, people with mental illness allegedly are a danger to themselves or to others. I've got a little old coffee. I got to take 2 entire pounds back of some crappy coffee I got at a food wholesaler. I'm kind of pissed. I'm out $6. Anyway, I'll get back to that. Yeah, well, I wanted tonight to be honest, truth, and straightforward, in your face, unabashed honesty. You're up all night? Wow, okay. I only got 5 hours sleep last night. My entire sleep pattern has been interrupted by my septic community issue. My community is being forced to do septic checks all over the place. Yeah, every house in this entire county, including the counties down below and up north, south, are all having to check their septic systems, or they face $25 a day penalties. And they have until the 31st to do it, or they're going to, go into... Luckily, I did it. I had my septic checked. I complied. The problem is, the guy said, well, we want to go pump. Well, I said, well, why do you need to pump? Well, I don't really need to pump. So then don't pump. But I think you should pump. Okay, where do you pump it? I don't know. So in other words, there's no science behind any of the septic crap that they're doing. No pun intended. I don't believe schizophrenics are the topic of discussion tonight, except in your mind. So could you change the subject? It's getting boring listening to your tripe. Why engineers cannot stop California's methane leak. This is an interesting conundrum they're in. Because it's leaking from 8,000 feet below the ground. That's why. Yeah. One of the biggest environmental disasters in U.S. history is happening right now. What you're about to see is shocking and could very well lead to a major disaster in the LA County Basin area. You've probably never heard of this. An enormous amount of harmful methane gas is currently erupting from an energy facility in Aliso Canyon, California, a startling rate of 110,000 pounds per hour. The stench of rotting eggs coming from the gas due to the addition of a chemical called mercaptan has led to the evacuation of 1,700 homes so far. Many residents have already filed lawsuits against the company that owns the facility, the Southern California Gas Company. A geyser of methane gas spewing from the earth, visible by a specialized infrared camera operated by Earthworks. Let's take a look at what this looks like. The Aliso Canyon natural gas leak, folks. In early December, the Southern California Gas Company said the plaguing leak, which sprang in mid-October, would take at least 3 months. Right now, the single leak accounts for a quarter of the state's entire methane emissions. 1/4 of the emissions coming out, called the worst environmental disaster since the BP oil spill in 2010. I think the biggest environmental disaster was having Barack Obama as our president. He's the worst president regarding environments that I've ever seen. I mean, he's worse than Ronald Reagan. But yeah, that's a serious leak. And if that in any way ignites, that whole entire hill is going up in smoke. Yeah, it's seriously a very dangerous situation growing. A hole getting bigger and bigger in the middle of the trench below the earth. Dave's not here, man. Look at 824. I think you need to change the subject because tonight's topic of the discussion is not your mental illness. And same with 656. Yeah. They should stick a seawater pipeline on that. Hey, just because an average guy is running for president doesn't make him mentally ill. What the hell's wrong with you people? No, you have no right to say I need to seek mental help because I have nothing mental about what I do. I'm one of the few people out there speaking the truth, and you want to call me mentally ill? Wow. Oma, your church smells like rotten eggs sometimes, but you want to know, you tell me what's happening to the weather, Oma. I know what's happening, but you tell me. $709, you have no idea what you're talking about. A lot of you are using this psychosis crap to disparage me and demoralize me. It's not going to work. You can only peg psychosis on somebody who presents symptoms of it. I don't have any symptoms of psychosis. Yeah. Sorry to point that out. Yeah, what have you been saying too? I'm going to ask you to stop talking as well. Okay, what do you want to talk about, Oma? No, I don't need to go camping or smoke a bowl. I need to stop. I never defamed Trump. He defamed himself when he opened his pie hole and lets the tripe come out of his mouth. I know these people are CIA ballsuck trolls. I agree. Well, Oma, it's possible Mother Nature is reacting to what is called global weather modification. Global weather modifications has been going on for some time. So our little weird world of scientists have been tweaking with Mother Nature for eons. Hi, NYPD. Yeah, well, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean somebody's not out to get you. Right. Dude, I've never denied reality. I've always accepted reality. I agree. Trump did steal my entire whole campaign program. I agree. I'm glad you recognize that. Really, 100% troll free. Wow. I don't know. NYPD sounds pretty serious to me. I like what he said. Yeah, there's no need to worry about people's mental problems unless they present with mental problems. Because there's no reason to call somebody mentally ill if they don't have any symptoms of mental illness. It's just a really low blow technique of trying to demoralize somebody. Simply saying that they're delusional because they want to run for president is not cutting it here. Sorry. My hair is a clear sign of my mental illness? Wow. Okay. So this means what here? This means psychosis right here, this little tendril right here? Or maybe this hair right here means psychosis. I don't know what your problem is, man. I'm teeming with symptoms. Could you cite one of the symptoms you claim I have? Thank you. Just one. Just if I'm teeming with something, give me one symptom. Thank you. Nope, I have no narcissism whatsoever. My hair is schizophrenic. You're just jealous I have hair. I know. I can't believe these statements. I don't even look at myself in the mirror. It's not like I've seen narcissists before. I have. And I can tell you I am no narcissist. I do believe trolls could be CIA. Yeah, sure. Why not? Nope, I'm using the veneers to make good use of them. These things cost $600. I don't think $600 should just sit in the cupboard, do you? If you had $600, wouldn't you use it? To you, it's pocket change. To me, it's important. Yeah, what do you mean teaming? Give me one example other than narcissism, because that doesn't apply. Oh, yes. I am serious about making America great. Why do you think I've been running a show for 7 years now? Nearly 2,000 shows. I think we are above 2,000 now. I'm going to get a count pretty soon. And I've been the most transparent presidential candidate in U.S. history. And people are calling me names. Only the worst possible people in here are calling me names. The ones who really are suffering from schizophrenia. Bring it. I can defend myself against any one of these psycho-babbling idiots. A lot of you are philosophators or psycho-babblers, and you don't realize that I can talk and walk and clearly think circles around you right now. So give me one other symptom that you said I'm teeming with. Thank you. Nope, this tie is beautiful. It's made in Australia by the Aborigines. And if you look at the pattern, you'll go nuts. But don't look at the pattern. There is no pattern. No, Acid DJ, you're a guy who's decided to get AIDS and basically ruin your whole life. Don't lay that on me. Not at all. No, I'd be more than willing to admit that I have some problems. One of them is my inability to break through your locked down brain cells, shut down by fluoridation. Hey, Oma. It was commenting on what you said, that Mother Nature's just being Mother Nature. She's really high lately. Yeah, Mother Nature's pissed off, Oma, big time. Mother Nature's turning around and saying, why are you people allowing these greedy sacks of crap exploiting the earth, literally sucking up all of the earth's resources to profit for just a few people profit. In the latest NSA spying scandal, the world learns that Obama lied again. Congress is furious it was spied on. Yep, that's what's going on. Congress is finding out they've been spied on by this president. Wow. He sinks the IRS on the Republicans. He spies on other people. In January 2014, during the scandalous aftermath of Edward Snowden's NSA snooping revelations, one which revealed that the U.S. has been spying on its closest allies for years, Obama banned U.S. eavesdropping on leaders of close friends and allies and promises he would begin reining in the vast collection of American phone data in a series of limited reforms. God, what is wrong with this site? Why do they continue to make websites like this? I don't even want to go there. I won't even go to that site anymore. I mean, you'd think Zero Hedge would get a website designer. No, they don't take me seriously because they don't know what I am. You see, I'm defying the logic of your brain. And I'm going to flush that out of the room too. Because in many ways, you have never asked the tough questions that I ask on a daily basis. Mother Nature is not seeking perfection. Mother Nature is actually the most randomizing, abstract, dulling tool there is. How do you think sand forms from rocks? It's called time and gravity. And time and gravity wants to repair this earth. I am running for president. You can vote for me. Go to AmericasThirdParty.com. But no, Mother Nature is trying to respond. You know what I saw today? Cloud formations of silver iodide that were literally dropping water like almost like calendars of water. It seemed like I've never seen clouds like this. I wish I had taken a camera and shown it to you, but it's like the silver iodide is so rich with water that they've stacked in the atmosphere with chemtrail activity over the past 50 years. That we are literally drenched with chemicals sitting above us, and the clouds aren't raining, they're literally dumping water in certain spots. It's like a funnel of water just dumped. No, I'm not senile. Michael Moore needs more than a career reviver. He needs a wake-up call. I mean, here's a guy who's been supporting Obama and the Democrats, even though they're so sucking up corporate money, it's ridiculous. Michael Moore needs to step out of the box and do something different. No, actually, I live pretty insulated from chemicals. I filter all my air here. I'm living with HEPA filters running all the time. And filtered water. And yep. Well, exercise is the way to stay active and keep your weight down. Michael Moore is a communist. He's not a Democrat, he's a communist. You know, I was a Democrat, but no longer are Democrats. They're more like communists. Yeah, I don't like the fact that the air base is so close. That's why I filter my air. If I were to go outside and breathe, like normal people, I probably would get a mouthful of carbon pollution, carbon particulates coming out of those jets. Yeah. Well, let's be clear. I know. They're dumping a lot of stuff on you, not just me, everywhere. Okay. Hold down the control key to use your mouse button to adjust the size. Okay. I'll try it again. Thanks. And you got Giraffe Brain has something about Jewish groups? What? Why are you just dumping links on me, Giraffe Brain? What's going on here? I can't even keep track of all these things. More Americans were killed in Christmas weekend storms this year than Islamic extremist attacks since 9/11. That's an interesting perspective. I like that because not many people realize that Islamic attacks are being pumped up in the news. We're listening to propaganda every day when we watch television. They're trying to make everyone hate Muslims, which is bizarre. And then you got Donald Trump out there trying to bag and tag them. Makes people wonder what the hell's going on. When asked in the first Democratic presidential debate what he considers to be the greatest threat to national security, Bernie Sanders insisted it's climate change. Well, Bernie Sanders doesn't even know what chemtrails are, apparently. I'm not that tired. Quality REM has denied me some levelness, but I don't think I'm that tired. 5 hours is enough to... I'm not a Muslim, no. I'm a former Catholic. Is that a joke? Guess 354? That was a bad joke. Okay, thank you. All right, let's see if I can get that link. Could everyone just please stop clicking on, stop posting, please, just for a second. Just 1 second, 1 nanosecond. Thank you. I think I got it. I don't have any thoughts on Ed Rooney right now. My hair does not look green. It's actually a perfectly dirty blonde. All Sanders cares about is reaching into other people's bank accounts. I agree, Giraffe Brain. He doesn't understand capitalism. He's a true socialist. It's terrible. What don't you like about my hair, exactly? You realize that your fixation with my hair is actually the psychosis here? How do you get so good at doing impressions? They're hilarious.
Well, for one, when Nancy and I were working on our astrology, I found that I was channeling with this person named David Sponheim. And when I passed on from Alzheimer's, I went into his body. And ever since then, Nancy and I have enjoyed the luxury of lots of jelly beans.
You got Trump hair. I'm giving you my vote to Sanders. He's got better hair. Sanders doesn't have any hair. That's just pubic hair that's been transplanted onto his forehead. That was not Bill Clinton. That was Ronald Reagan. But you wouldn't know because you don't even know who Ronald Reagan is. Do you know who Ronald Reagan is? Ronald Wilson Reagan, Mr. 666, the New World Order presidential candidate. You're fixating. Could you adjust your color on your screen? My hair is not green. It's yellow.
Well, Dave, is this really important to know in case you visit Florida? We want to have sex on the beach. What are you Oma, I'm not going to have sex on the beach with you. That's a very wild drink.
I don't do Bill Cosby. I don't do perverts. Okay? Thank you. I'm just not going to do it.
Not going to do it. No quid pro quo.
1,000 points of light.
A new world odor.
I know it's an alcoholic drink, Giraffe Brain. I don't drink. That's what I'm talking about, man. We got a lot of fun people talking tonight. This is a great show. You know, we extended past our normal time, and I didn't even notice it happen. You realize how wonderful this is when I lose sleep and I have only 5 hours sleep? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I just poke that poke. The Hitlery snake GIF, okay. Coming up on tap, we have a request for the Hitlery snake GIF. Would you prefer the Billary GIF, where the Bill and Hillary transgender prototype is being developed in a laboratory in Lawrence, Livermore, California? They decided that Hillary and Bill were both viable candidates, so they're creating the Billary robotic improvement over the Hillary robot. You got the Barack Obama teleprompter reading robot currently. That's your current president. But you will have a new robot shortly with Billary. The amazing new technology developed by a man I can't even mention his name in Livermore, California, has developed a brand new prototype of the presidential candidate that you would like to see. His name is David Sponheim. And let me be the first to introduce you to his brand new persona. Are you ready?
Hello, I am David Sponheim. I am running for president. I am the first audio animatronic presidential candidate in world history.
Would you prefer Bozo Pelosi? I mean, hello? Come on. You want to see the Hillary reptile picture. I get that. Alrighty then. We've got it on tap for you. Would you like to see a lot of other pictures of Hillary? Here is the original Hillary reptile photograph as evinced by this picture. Dave, please never stop streaming. I love you. You're the best caster ever. I'm not even a caster. I'm a streamer now. I feel like I'm into some golden shower activity on Vaughn. It's ridiculous. Can you change my name to caster? I don't like being a streamer. It's disturbing. I'm not into that. That's not how I swing. Ooh, nice bod. This candid picture was taken outside of Copacabana Beach in Florida when Hillary was getting out of her sweaty, smelly towel and getting into her fresh, fun towel. That's got to be the funniest picture ever. You should win an award for that. I know. We need to offer awards here. It'd be great. All right. Let's get back to the chat room. This is too fun. This is the best comedy I've seen in years. Seriously. I cannot imagine. You have been living in comedy hell, Home Slice. You've been laughing at people like Robin Williams. He's no longer funny. I don't need no stinking mods, man. David, do Tony Montana. Okay. Say hello to my little friend. Say hello, Mr. Sosa. Okay, Mr. Sosa. Tony, don't ever screw me, Tony. No, Mr. Sosa. I'm not gonna screw you, Mr. Sosa. Matrix, not honey. Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, you, Mr. Anderson, are living in a dream world. Mr. Anderson, you think you have freedom, but you have nothing, Mr. Anderson. Isn't that great? It's cathartic to do these shows. Okay, any other questions? We'll get down to some brass tacks now and talk about the problems our country is facing that I can help you with. David, you are the poster child of Arrested Development? Not true. You are great. We love you forever. It's lethargic to do these shows, Dave. Well, what do you mean lethargic? Cathartic to do the shows. Lethargic is the opposite of cathartic. Not really, but I would not want to do Trump in that way. He looks like a real non-performer, kind of like a limp lizard kind of guy. Okay, that's your fantasy. I don't have to live through your fantasy. I have my own life. I'm living the fantasy. No, I'm not claiming mental illness. You just don't know how to diagnose honest truth, man. You have no idea how incredibly creative people can be. Many of you are living in the cornhole of your own making. Literally getting crapped on every single day by yourself. You are demoralizing yourself. You are literally living in your own pile of personal doo-doo. All of you live in the cauldron of hell. Self-importance can override the real important starting point. You're right. It's better to be less egomaniacal and more self-effacing, and love yourself, but don't love it too much. I don't have any gain. This conversation is over. Basically, the microphone's screwed. We are dealing with a computer that is in the final days of its eternal Intel 7 second generation life. Just turn your volume down, man. Oh God, you have no idea. The 1% are going to be hogtied and tarred and feathered and held up for public spectacle soon. When I become president, these people will be rooted out of their rich, incredibly wealthy castles and be charged with crimes against humanity. When I get done with them, they will be wondering what the hell just happened. When they tried to suppress the American people and keep us from actually rising up, by censoring the media, by eliminating all third-party options. They created a disaster for themselves. Yeah. I can do things that they can't even imagine without even blinking an eye. I'm actually able to spread the word of a third party by just sitting here every night, being a consistent, transparent communicator to the American people. Kind of like the great communicator Ronald Wilson Reagan. Ronald Reagan was the great communicator, and I want to be just like Ronald Reagan. I even want to sound like him. Nancy? That's a lovely nightie, Nancy. You look really hot. Reagan died many years ago, yes. Oh, Max. Missed it by that much. 99? It's chaos. So what's going on? David really thinks he's the best of everything? Seriously? I don't think I am. I don't have to think I am. When you are what you are, you just exude it. I'm going to hog tie the 1% in the way that you talking about, Captain Howdy. We're talking about the way that people hog tie criminals, you know, when they're taken in for crimes against humanity. I care, Oma. Dave, I really hope you look up the info I sent you before you take Sarah to Florida for the trip one day when you become president. I will, Oma. Thank you. And I don't think I'll be going to Florida, frankly. I know that sounds odd, but Florida will be going to me. I know I'm the best, yeah. NYPD, I know. I don't need to be bragging about myself when I know I'm the best. Oh, okay, let's take a look at this here. Okay, parrotfish are pooping sand? Wow, this is scary. These parrotfish are pooping sand, everybody. I like underwater film. It's kind of cool. Oh, well, that was quick. That's the first ever I've seen a parrotfish pooping sand. Why not run? There you go. Boy, that's a real selling point for running, I'll tell you. You know, if you've been on a long run like that, that's a weird picture. It's like a bunch of gazelles in the middle of it. Oh, man, whatever. Very cool, though. Thank you. No, Obama isn't. He's the worst president we've ever had. Captain Howdy, you wouldn't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, just stop it with the concrete stuff here. Turns out that a mint condition of Lego set has a higher return on investment than gold. Zathy 88. Good point. Legos are getting very popular, you know. Kids are loving them. I will stop, of course, I've stopped acting like I'm educated. I'm so sorry. I will act more like a person of low education. Let me dumb down my brain by approximately 90 IQ points. Hold on, please. How you doing, man? So what's going on? I did hang out with the Lakers when I was a youngster. I got a chance to hang out in the press room in Lakers, the Forum, and I got to meet Jerry West, Gail Goodrich, Wilt Chamberlain, all the greats. That's when I was a kid. You miss Ross Perot? Okay, let's make that happen. Now see here. Now see here. Now that's just sad, see? Now there you go again. You hear that sucking sound? That's your head blowing out your eardrums. Nope, I will not do that. That's your fantasy, not mine. Please keep your language to a minimum. This is a public show. Yeah, so you all here, you want to fix your country, eh? You're calling me, your average guy here, everybody. Yeah. Let's talk about politics. Let's get down to the real nitty-gritty. You ready to give me some stuff to talk about? All right? Give me a question. I can ask her, what the hell's wrong with my mouth? There we go. Mic was always too loud. The mic was too loud when we started the show. I've been adjusting the mic down to a percolating low level right there. LOL as a joke. Oh, okay. After the war, will food and water be tough to come by? No, there will be plenty of polluted food and toxic water after the war. You'll be able to enjoy mounds and mounds of GMO coleslaw. I know, mic distortion throughout the whole night. I know that. I got that. It's bad mic night. It would have been better if I had a new computer. You're saying I look like Alfred E. Newman and David Letterman? Okay, we can make that happen. It would have not been better. I'm here to help you guys. I'm frankly, the funny stuff, you like the GMO coleslaw one, that was funny. The funny stuff is just to get you interested in politics. Really. I'm not here to be funny. I really am not. It was never my intention to be funny. I had to be funny. I didn't want to be funny, frankly. But you made it so, you're laughing so hard, really. I have an infectious laugh, kind of like David Letterman. I know we're working on the look here. The look of Letterman is in your eyes tonight. The look of David Letterman. Da 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 da. No, I don't have a toupee. This is my real hair. It's all natural. The look of love. My laugh is horrible. I really resent that. People say I have a very infectious laugh. The look of Letterman. You think we should hang out in the Ed Sullivan room and just kind of play footsie-wootsy? What do you say? Oh, yeah. Okay, we got a morph between Letterman and Alfred E. Newman going down. Going down big time. Here we go. Now I have to adjust their head, otherwise I will be lopsided. But I'm going to try to morph these two pictures together and create me. Beautiful me. Long-standing me. Here we go. No, there's no Rodney anywhere. Whatever. Okay, here we go. You are pretty close to accurate on this whole thing, yeah. Okay, here's Alfred E. Newman. Sorry. And here's David Letterman. Okay. David Letterman and Alfred E. Newman. I don't know. It's a toss-up. I don't know. I think I look like both of them. You are gonna really? Should I get ready? Should I lube up? Letterman, like 70 years old, hitting on 70-year-old girls while fat people applaud. Carpet muncher. Boy, you synopsized his career. Thank you. You did better than I could have done. Trump 76, Jeb 1%, Sponheim, what? No, you guys are really Trump supporters, aren't you? A lot of you have your head up your ass, and you're smelling your own crap. You are eye candy. Thank you, baby. Yeah. I don't do phone sex. I know my mic gain is hot. I know. It's been cracking all night long. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. Trump for vice president. That's the best thing I've seen all night long. Thank you. That's the best thing you've written into the chat room. That's awesome. We are those people you were trying to win over, Dave. I thought I already won you over. You wouldn't be watching me if I hadn't won you over. Dave, back in his younger days. No, dude. I'm like not like that guy, you know? I don't think he looks like, no, I'm sorry. No, I don't even look like that guy. I look like a slightly less attractive Andy Dick. Who's Andy Dick? Yeah. Bend over. Yeah. I think you found your twin. I would never need Trump for a job. Frankly, I don't need to work. I'm self-employed by my own intention. Yeah. You know, back in the day when I did work for the man, I found out that the man was an idiot. Complete imbecile. Oh, you do that soon to me now. Ha ha ha. You will have foot up your ass. I can't. I can wiggle my ears. I don't need a sugar mama, baby. I don't need a sugar mama. I set myself up real good a long time ago when I took care of things myself. We have Clinton in a cameo moment. Unable to actually take the serum, though. She was unable to actually track it. You will not do anything of the sort. Do another racist Asian accent? No, I would never do that. I'm not racist. God, what's wrong with you, man? You sound like you're a little bit like the lizard lady. Oh yeah, check it out, the lizard lady. Oh yeah, the lizard lady. Oh yeah. So the truth serum, she evaded the truth serum, and frankly, the lizard lady wins out. Guess what? Donald Trump enters the entire political spectrum, and Hillary looks better to more and more voters. Guess what? Trump plus reality equals Hillary. Yeah. I don't do men, but thank you for asking, because I am not a homosexual. You couldn't even get it up, dude. And plus, I'm a trained expert at kicking your ass. In fact, I hold a major black belt in kicking your ass. I know. You don't vote. You gave up. I know. I hear you, man. I can't do what you do, Asset DJ. It takes a real man to get AIDS in 3 years. I may be happy, but I'm not gay. But I think many of you don't realize that Hillary is possibly going to run again. I know. I think Hillary is perhaps the best invention we've come up with so far. Sorry. I didn't mean to remind you about your AIDS. I'll try to keep your mind off of it. Yeah. Stop laughing, Dave. I've never ever fallen for that trick. You're trying to make me stop laughing. Somebody call the pest control company around here. We got some crickets in here. Yeah, I know. I can't get rid of them. All right, I'm done with this Hillary thing. I really am. I'm tired of it. You have a black belt in crowbar and toe chain. There is no toupee. What do I have to do to prove to you that I do not have a toupee? Seriously, what would you like me to do? I mean, seriously, burn your hair. I am not about to do that, man. Play videos now. Please stop with the racist Asian accent. Thank you. Use hairspray. Look at, man, unlike the Trumpster, I actually have all my hair intact, okay? Some of us are losing it to the outer space or the outer limits. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension of both Trump's hair and of time itself. You're about to cross over into the Trump zone. Okay, oh, where did that come from? They keep coming. All right, any other questions? Because I think we've established that I'm the best candidate for the presidency. By far, the most intelligent, most incredibly real-time, extemporaneous speaker you've ever seen in your life. And David does the Rod Serling spot on. And I'm able to do this stuff real-time without teleprompter. So you get a big package when you get me. You get a person who's willing to answer your questions in real time without a teleprompter. I'm even willing to do a daily chat room. No, I don't like Len's room. He maligned me. I'm even able to do a complete chat room from inside of this large hole outside the White House. We will be sitting in the chat room in the hole and talking about some of the issues about falling into the hole while I do the show. We will work on automation whenever possible. David, are you on drugs right now? I don't take any drugs. I've never taken drugs except for an aspirin in my life. I'm not a user of drugs of any kind. Who's David Niles? I don't know who that is. He has the same last name as mine. I'm wondering who that is. Glenny can't possibly love me. He's too infatuated with his mother. Mom! Make me a soda! And Cooney. He likes Cooney too. I took an aspirin today, actually. I was feeling a little under the weather, and I decided to take an aspirin. I normally, it is like a miracle drug, by the way. Dude, you couldn't screw yourself out of a wet banana. You'd have a hard time getting it up. I've had mic problems all night long. The whole mic is cracked. It's whacked. The mic is whacked. Tonight is a rough night. We're waiting for our new setup. It's going to be a brand new computer. We've got numerous problems with everything going on here. Real hot mic tonight. I cracked your speaker. Are you serious, Oma? Really? Come on. You look like a bald Will Ferrell. I don't know about you, but I'm having a hard time. You calling me bald? What exactly is bald about this here? You know, you're accusing me of all kinds of stuff, but what exactly is bald about my hair? I was in a fist fight in 1967 in which I leveled somebody. And ever since then, I've been avoiding violence. You can't even spell, dude. How could you possibly do that? Yeah, a lot of fluoride takers here. Treatment Advocacy Center, component article. I'm not sure what you're talking about. New computer, no, we used our own personal funds for our computers. We never use any campaign funds for anything other than things we need in the field. I use campaign funds for this video camera that we take with us whenever we go on trips. And I'm not a rattlesnake handler at the local Pentecostal church, no. Captain Howdy, did you win? Win what? My old book is going to be free. The first chapter is going to be free in January. I don't have fake hair. This is real hair, man. What do you need to see? Do you want to see? Oh, there you go. See, you can see my follicles. I'm pulling my hair out. Wow. I mean, I don't think I've ever had to defend my hair more than I've defended in this show. Like, do your campaign and say, "Get up, American, and dance to freedom." Well, yeah, we haven't even played any music tonight. Let's get up and dance. I need to get some exercise tonight. You know, feeling my fat is not exercise. You know, you're just standing there feeling your blubber is not exercise. You got to get up and do it. Show some real spunk. Mental issues. 656, you've been saying that all night long. I have a feeling you're projecting your own problems onto other people. You need to seek psychiatric help, 656. You are seriously messed up in the head. And I'm not an expert, but I can tell you, you got some major problems, man.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight.
You can't stop making fun of me.
We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the
All right, let's get some workout.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim, America's Third Party.
Sponheim for president.
All right.
We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop.
In this coming election, vote for David Sponheim.
All right, that's fun. Yeah, thank you. You say that every time we do the show. Every time you say that's awkward. This is the third time you said it, man. The only awkward thing about you is your head. I'm not starting anything with you. Yeah.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on.
I'm going to stop this show, though, if you continue this. This song is a remix done by Scissor Fight. Have I ever crossed swords with another man? No. I have never crossed swords with another man. So would you guys like to find out a little bit about our hybrid capitalism solution for America? You can. Yep, we can talk about it. We discovered that the country needs a way to get an impetus to the economy, to get it going. We believe that impetus is based in part on a brand new vision for the country created by a man named me. A return on investment, that's right. So when you are looking for money from the government and the government doesn't have any money for you, don't you get a little pissed off? I don't think the country is divided. I think we've been falsely divided. I don't believe it's a real division. It's more like, I would say, an artificial barrier created by people that want to race bait and drive the difference between the left and the right and the cultures and the races. I mean, there's so many things we have in common that we have to really work together to make this a better country. I don't believe we're getting that from Obama. We're not getting that from Donald Trump. He's a divider. He's not a uniter. David, if you were a woman, would you be slutty? No. I'm kind of a prudish person myself. So I don't believe that I would be a slut if I was a woman. Yeah, there you go. That's a stupid generation picture you got there, Scissor Fight. Yeah, look at how this picture embodies the stupidity of our generation. I mean, we're literally shooting ourselves. And one person's on the plank ready to drop us, and we're shooting ourselves. Here's Peter and here's Randy. Peter's holding the plank and Randy's on the plank. Randy wants to shoot Peter, and when he shoots Peter, Peter drops and Randy drops. That's how stupid a culture can be. Yeah. Nope, I don't believe the blackface was intended to divide the nation. It was actually, intended to impersonate the worst president we've ever had. You Democrats need to wake up. Well, this is the thing, Jello Beans. Democratic policies are all about tax and spend and wasting money. It's not fixing the economy. Hybrid capitalism will fix the economy. The Democrats just want to enlarge credit, advance credit, and tax the hell out of you. And it's never going to create any traction in our economy. Check this out. According to a federal judge, this is weird. Drinking tea, shopping at a gardening store is probable cause for a SWAT raid on your home. Wow. What the heck is this all about? Thanks for that link. In April 2012, a Kansas SWAT team raided the home of Robert and Addie Hart, their 7-year-old daughter and their 13-year-old son. The couple, both former CIA analysts, awoke to pounding at the door when Robert Hart answered. SWAT agents flooded the home. He was told to lie on the floor. When Addie Hart came out to see what was going on, she saw her husband on his stomach as SWAT cops stood over him with a gun. The family was then held at gunpoint for more than 2 hours while the police searched their home. Though they claimed to be looking for evidence for a major marijuana growing operation, they later stated that they knew within about 20 minutes that they wouldn't find any such operation. So they switched to search for evidence of personal use. They found no evidence of any criminal activity. The investigation leading to the raid began at least 7 months earlier when Robert Hart and his son went to a gardening store to purchase supplies to grow hydroponic tomatoes for a school project. A state trooper had been positioned in the store parking lot to collect the license plate numbers of customers, compile them into a spreadsheet, then send the spreadsheets to local sheriff's departments for further investigation. Yes, merely shopping at a gardening store could make you the target of a criminal drug investigation. More than a half a year later, the Johnson County Sheriff's Department began investigating the Harts as a major Operation Constant Gardener, it's called. Basically a PR stunt in which the agency conducts multiple pot raids. I've seen enough of this crap. This is pissing me off. Thank you. Our tax dollars at work. What a joke. Oh, blackface was epic. I did an epic blackface. That epic is the best word to describe what I did. Dave can only read 10 words a minute. I just read over 100 words a minute. I have one of the fastest reading capabilities on earth. You want to test me? You ready? Here, I'll read this text so fast you won't even be able to read it as fast as I can read it with my voice. You ready? Here we go. See, I told you. Test me. Test me. Bring it. Bring it. You can't beat this. This is too good. Born after 1953, your SS benefits have just been cut. Wow. You get benefits for being in the Secret Service? Oh, you mean Social Security? Here we go, everybody. The squeeze is started. Under the maximization strategy known as restricted application, you can file for Social Security benefits at or full retirement age, but elect to take only your eligible spousal benefits, allowing your individual benefits to grow until they max out at age 70. At that point, with a raise of up to 32% under your belt, you could switch to taking your individual benefits. You know, I'm really not interested in this. I don't support raising the age of retirement to 70 like the Republicans are doing right now. Oh, your IM is not working? I'm sorry. Well, my IM isn't working either. You can report that to Mark. I didn't want to tell him because I know he's all in the middle of cashing his checks for the BIP users. I didn't want to upset him while he was cashing his cash. But yeah, the IM thing stopped working, you know. Is it denial or anosognosia? Will you drop it, man? Go get yourself some serious treatment from a psychologist who doesn't know what they're doing. I don't do no Peruvian or Colombian Coke, man. I prefer Pepsi, actually. Oh my gosh, we got 9 minutes more for the extended show. No, you know, Beano is probably your best bet. I highly recommend it to stop that unnecessary wet flatulence that's expurging from your anus. Yeah, I highly recommend Beano. My microphone wasn't working at the start of the show. I know that. Can you even hear me? Can you hear me? We know it's been off and on. Okay. I sound like a squid. Woof, woof. Well, yeah, she's in the background. She had her date. She was out on a date. Well, you know, when you guys, a lot of you Democrats, I need to re-educate you in the nature of methane. We've got a bigger methane crisis right now, bubbling up from the ground. We can't stop it.
Onto the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop. We can't stop.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Okay, Southern California's major methane. Can't stop. Yeah, they can't stop the leak, folks. It's getting out of control. There's a burgeoning environmental crisis lurking in the California area, Southern California. It's a methane leak that makes your methane coming out of your body nothing. Okay, it's terrible. So don't worry about global climate change. Worry about the methane leak that Jerry Brown can't block. He can't stop it. It's supposed to take 3 months to fix. Good luck. It's a burgeoning environmental disaster, and it's not being addressed by this lame duck governor Jerry Brown, who is absolutely the worst commie dictator California has ever had. The baby thing is the image of the human race struggling to survive. That's the best way I could describe it. Well, like I said, guys, if you're a Democrat, stop worrying about methane. Start worrying about the reality that we got bigger problems to deal with your spending and the hot air coming out of your politicians' mouths. Yeah, there's a serious problem. It's called the death of the brain of the Democrats. There's so many of them that just don't think when they do things. Consequently, we've got 47 states now in our country that are nearing bankruptcy. There's an alarm going off. Well, let's be clear. Hello? There's an alarm going off somewhere. Thank you. Could you please fix? Thank you. Okay, good. It's a hot mic tonight, guys. Thank you for putting up with it. We're going to try to fix this tomorrow, but we are getting a brand new computer for the new year. My New Year's resolution was to fix our computer issue, and it's working. We've got a really good computer coming. I will play videos soon. Relax. You're the one with mental problems. You're OCD, dude. You need serious help. Contact your local OCD therapist. Yep, I highly recommend it. Nope, we're all in good shape now. This is the human race struggling to survive behind me. This is the baby humanity trying to make it. We're not doing too well. No, I have foreign relations experience that I can't even get into. One of my challenges in life was to meet as many different people as I could. It was on my bucket list to meet a person from every country. And right now I've met almost every single representative from every country in the world, except for one. And I've yet to meet anyone from Liechtenstein. Do you know anybody I could meet from Liechtenstein? That is one wild looking cat, man. How is that possible? It looks like it could be in danger. I don't have orange hair. I have blonde hair. What the hell's wrong with you, man? No, I've actually met as many people as I could. No, and I met a man from Nigeria. He was this real rich Nigerian, and I've never met a more egotistic man in my life. He talked down to Americans. He talked down to us like we were nothing. And it was like, wow, coming from Nigeria, he was like royalty. No, I don't think that's the case. You know, saying things like that about Sarah really have not really helped me. No, we've never met Bill Clinton, and I doubt I ever will. I don't think I'm ever going to meet Bill or Hillary, frankly, unless they choose me as their vice president. They work together, you know, as a team. Well, no, Barack Obama is a Kenyan. I met a Kenyan before. A very good runner, actually. Nope. I met a Kenyan, though. I have. I've met an Iranian. I met a Syrian the other day, serving beef at the restaurant I was at. I could tell because he had his knife and he handled it very well. Sarah's not dating anybody, Oma. God. I don't track my sister's YouTube. I don't. All I know is we don't talk about Trump. I told her never to mention his name in my house. Wow, that's like really, really cool. We've got an amazing, what appears to be some sort of a spiritual Hindu GIF here. It's the image of Siddhartha. Now, I'm not religious in any way, but that's like really psychedelic, dude. Yeah. Ooh, chat. No, my sister's not doing the show. She's not into it. I'm not into having her on the show. Just like I don't want you to fall into a hole. And many of you are falling into a hole right now, financially. Now, you're just making fun of me because you can't think of anything else to say. You know, my sister has done a lot of things on her own. I don't really have any clue as to what she does on the side. That's why I, keep her out of the show for now, because she has her own opinions. I would consider somebody to be my vice president. I need to communicate with people. You know, I feel a little bit bad that I've called Trump out as a corporate pig. It's so not like me to do that. But when he stops engaging in the type of ridiculous hyperbolic statements about Muslims, then I can open up a conversation with him. When he stops initiating a discussion about illegal aliens being murderers, rapists, and drug dealers, then I can talk to him. If he stops using outrageous statements and denying that he said it, like that time when he was making fun of the disabled journalist, and the next day he said he doesn't make fun of a disabled journalist. He was on camera making fun of a disabled journalist. What the hell's wrong with this guy? I don't have a brother-in-law. My goodness. Yeah, I don't have a brother-in-law. But thank you for asking. No, Trump is like Hitler. He said the same things that Hitler said. We've reached the end of the show. Oh my gosh. This is really special. Now you get to watch videos. Aren't you excited? We had a lot of fun, though, and we talked about hybrid capitalist solutions for America. Scientists have deleted HIV virus from the human DNA for the first time. Wow, they actually have a picture of the HIV virus. You know, there's over 200 HIV viruses, so this is just one of them. Wow, look at that. I think I'm looking a little closer in the picture, and I'm beginning to see something akin to HIV. I spotted it. It's right there. There it is. It's the HIV virus bug. Waiting for action. Now, would you be tempted when you're in the grocer's freezer to get involved with something like that? I don't think so. Any of you getting excited right now? This isn't porn, okay? It's completely legal. Not that porn isn't. All right, we're done with the HIV thing. We're done with the show. No, we just don't want to, introduce people who support Trump to our show. I changed your name from Dave to Mark. Mo Green, wow. What made you powerful and able to do that? Calling me Mark now, huh? Look, I went home a long time ago. I do this show from home. Hemaphroditic? What is hemaphroditic? Is like a hema... Is that like a hermaphrodite? Hermaphroditic? You mean hermaphroditic. Not hemaphroditic. Hermaphroditic. That is the correct pronunciation using the Latin roots. Hermaphroditic. Thank you. Boy, I'm helping you with your grammar too. Trump doesn't have a home. He rents. I own. Big difference. Yeah, I don't declare bankruptcy. People like Trump do. Hermaphrodite. Honestly, I never knew this about my sister, that she supports Trump. This is the first time I've heard it. Can you cite a video where she said that? Excuse me? I was the one that actually oversaw the construction of this house. Yes. Wow. No, he's bankrupt, dude. Trump he can't validate the $10 billion. You can't tell when a person lies to you about his wealth. You got some issues, man. You can't even detect a corporate pig lying to you through his teeth about his wealth. Wow. All right. Well, this has been great. We're going to leave the show. Say goodnight to our YouTube broadcast and hello to our video cast into the evening. Thank you. Good night, YouTubers. Thanks for watching us.